things I can't ignore. I'm not getting what I came here for. Gotta get ahead of something more. So I think I found a new way out, way beyond a shadow of doubt. 'Cause I can't breathe, and I guess I could be stronger now and leave it up to fate somehow. But I'm doing this for me. Give it up, baby, I'm not fooling anyone. Always going on and on. Can't you keep it to yourself for once? Oh, I think I found a new way out, way beyond your shadow of doubt. And I can't breathe. Oh, I hope you're keeping count of all the times you let me down, and all the things you said out loud, the bullshit I could cry about. And I know we could be stronger now and leave it up to fate somehow. But everything I do for me.
I get lost sometimes and I can't seem to find a light between the walls I built for myself right in my mind. And then you came over and you showed me love that I never had seen before. And now when I got you, it's all gonna be alright. Thinking about all the things we did tonight, what a time to be alive. Just you and I, just you and I. Only you can put the fire out. You can turn it all around. You can lift me off the ground, so we can fly again, so we can fly again. Trying hard not to go out of my mind. And all I need right now is for you to stay the night. But if you keep saying that you've got to leave, then I'm gonna be alright. As long as you tell me that we ain't running out of time. Thinking about all the things we did tonight, what a time to be alive. Just you and I, just you and I. Only you can put the fire out. You can turn it all around. And you can lift me off the ground, so we can fly again, so we can fly again. So we can fly
speed of light do decay more slowly than stationary particles. As strange and counterintuitive as it seems, time dilation is a law of nature.
get on your feet. Stand up, stand up. Come on, get loose with the heat. Right now. We go party till we black out. So get the fuck up.
Getting hype when I aim up, elevating that game up, stepping up to the competition. Only first place, and that's how I'm living. I'm with it till they digging up my grave, eating all the things up on my plate. Game face when I step up into place. I was born and when I watched me elevate. Getting hype when I aim up. Elevating that game up. Stepping up to the competition.
What's the matter with
Only
it?
first place in this.
Go back on. It keeps saying private video. The video's now fucking public.
You might have to refresh the page on the interact thing, or just redo the link.
Getting hype when I aim up. Elevating that game up. Stepping up to the competition. Only first place and that's how I'm living. I'm winning till they digging up my grave. Eating all the things up on my plate. Game face when I step up in the place. I was born and when I watch me elevate. When I watch me elevate. I was born and when I watch me elevate.
We're in live. Apologies about ladies and gentlemen, just a bit of a technical issue there, but we are live and we are back on the grid. Welcome everyone, evening. We are live. Simplay Motorsport on this Wednesday night. Everyone, evening. 9th of June here on this Wednesday night, the 9th of June here at Catalunya in Barcelona. And I tell you what, sat here in the East Midlands, it feels like it's as hot as being in Barcelona. The weather is absolutely scorching. Evening to Daniel Francis, that buzzy boy Alfie, Dean Wasocki, JR and Disco McDisco Face in the chat. Nice to see you all here, all ready for this one. Just want to start by saying congratulations to Alfie, who's out there on track, passed his driving test earlier today, so a massive congrats to Alfie on that one. I'm Matthew Duffin, joined in the commentary box once again on this fine Wednesday afternoon, evening time I suppose, with that buzzy boy Liam. Liam, how are you?
I'm okay, Matthew. How about you?
Very good, thank you, buddy. Obviously did a cracking job on the GT5's commentary the other night with Jamie. Still trying to learn, so be patient on the Monday night's commentary team. I'm not there, I'm not a part of it, I'm on the track, but he did a top job. Liam, what are we expecting tonight from these GT3 guys? What are we expecting to see on that out there on this track?
Hopefully some close fights up the front of the grid, so give it a bit more of a interesting look.
Indeed we are. Practice session as always. There is 14 minutes left of it, so you've not missed anything while them issues was going on. We are still going ahead with all the plans at the moment. We are still live. Excuse me. We are still live and ready to go, so don't worry, you've not missed a single thing. We are here and we are ready to go for these GT3s tonight. Liam, are you a fan of the circuit? Are you looking forward to your challenge out there tomorrow night?
Yeah, I'm always looking forward to the bit of a challenge every Thursday night. It's just how it comes across.
What are we expecting tonight, Liam? Then are we expecting some close battles between the top of the standings? What are we thinking?
Yeah, hopefully some close, clean, fair battles up front at grid. Maybe move some people up the grid on the standings, maybe some teams, constructors going up. We'll see.
Indeed we will. Just want to mark out that tonight marks a few more half centurions out there on the grid, and for the first race of the night, Kieran Argent, or Argent 22 as he's known on the grid, will be making his 50th appearance. It would have made it last week at Donington Park race 2, but with that race with the qualifying ban he had earlier in the He's missed one race. I'm not sure why he's missed a race, but with a race he's missed this season, he was unable to take part in that. No, I think he did miss the first race at Daytona, didn't he? He was unable to take part in that for his 50th. So this one, first race tonight, is his 50th. We've also got this man on the screen now, DJ Phil Green, who will be taking his 50th appearance, provided he starts both races in race 2. So they're at the half-century mark. A few more tomorrow night, but we'll get to them once tomorrow night. Tonight is their night for the half-century. We've already had Stealth Sloth in the Pro-Am category take that, so these will be joining him on that marker of 50 race starts. Little Each and Peaceful lead the race starts on 51 due to the fact that there's a few new leagues started on Simplay Motorsport with the GT5s on Monday. That allowed Peaceful and Little Each to get an extra start and go on to 51. Tied for race wins is Jamie Brazier and Gary on 16 apiece, though in this one. So 50th appearance for Argent and DJ Phil tonight. They've worked so hard to get here. Guys at the other end of the scale, in terms of X-Mart and BT Targa, 2 race wins in the first couple of appearances for them, guys. What are we expecting from them tonight? A bit more of the same from these guys in the Team Prolassi Mercedes?
Hopefully so, yeah. It's always nice to see some new people doing exceptionally well as soon as they've joined.
Yeah, it is. It really is. Evening to Tony, aka Fury's granddad, our very own Welshie, our admin, and Iron Brew Racing also in the chat. Obviously, the other half of Iron Brew Racing, or it could be one of the thirds of Iron Brew Racing, with Disco and Disco Face being on their roster effectively. Liam, the Audi of Don tonight. He's running second place in the championship, which I'll go through the standings in just a moment. You're in the Audi. What can you tell us about the Audi around Catalunya? Does the car enjoy the track? Is the car strong around here, or are you expecting to have a tough time in not just you but Jamie and what's Don looking at tonight?
For me personally, it's going to be hard. I don't know how it's going to feel for the other two, Jamie and Don, but I think it's going to be a bit of a struggle as Don's there a bit wide.
Yeah, he's going to struggle going that line.
Yeah, I think, like I say, personally to me, I'm struggling, so it's just really down to what these guys can actually do in the car.
Well, I'm just going to run you through the classifications, and it's Fury who leads the way at the minute, 17 points ahead of Don Productions in the Audi. KLF 900, Kelly, Sticky himself is P3 on 95 points. NJ, the man on screen now, is P4. Alfie's up to 5th after his double points, a good double points for Alfie, up into P5 at the moment, only 3 points behind NJ as well. Nicky then is in P6 with Dean Wasaki down in 7th. Kieran Argent is in 8th. DJ Phil Green is 9th. Stealth Sloth 10th with BT Targa 11th. Now BT Targa obviously had great results last week, but after tonight he will have his first drop score on the board, like Xmart had a drop score on the board for last week as well. Xmart's then behind him in P12. P13 is Daniel Francis. 14th is Aidan Bennett, who should be joining us a little later on, obviously finishing work, gets home a bit late, and he's on just in time for qualifying. Smithy then is in 15th place with Leon Fernie down in P16. No Leon Fernie tonight as well. Hopefully he does get on, hopefully he's able to get here. But yeah, Liam, excuse me, Fury at the minute has a 17-point lead over Don. He struggled recently in a couple of weeks, hasn't he?
Oh, yeah, it's really the nature of the car, if I'm right, to just struggle a little bit. I mean, it's a very power car, but I think some of the tracks we've been at haven't really suited the car.
Yeah, I agree. I get what you're saying there. Do you think then that Kelly and Don, obviously Don's taking his double points, do you think that Kelly and Don can tonight maybe put a thorn in his championship? Or do you see someone like Enzo or Alfie maybe closing that gap and making him have to work hard for it?
I think if we see Don and Kelly as they have been in the past, I think possibly.
Well, I said to everybody all week, I drive the Mercedes a lot online, I said I don't think the Mercedes will do that well here. How wrong I was, because the top 4 are Mercedes, then you get the Ferrari of Alfie and Don. But this is only practice, this counts for nothing at the moment. It is just for these guys to get last minute setup tweaks and get the bits right, ready to go for today. Come on Don, says Iron Brew Racing, the car loves the track, says Jamie then of Iron Brew Racing. Dean Wasocki currently down in P9. Seen Dean last night, was in the 46ers, so he's up there with the front runners if he can get the pace right. Dean, off the back of a double point score at Donington Port last week, Liam, really struggled at Donington, didn't he, to keep the car on track and be consistent. What's Dean got to do tonight to cut out them mistakes, to cut out them errors?
Well, I think to start it off is cut out all the mistakes for starters. I think as long as he stays consistent, keeps away from trouble, maybe even stay away from curbs that'll unsettle the car, I think he should do pretty well.
We'll have to see. Bethany Duffin, evening to you. Come on, Kelly, she says. Evening all, come on, Kelly. The KLF 900 fan on a Wednesday and the Gary Super fan on a Thursday night. 16 people watching. 9 likes, guys. Hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're new to the channel as well. Let's get as many new faces in here. Don't forget, share it around. Tell your friends. Get them along. Join the Facebook group. Join the Discord server if they want to take part in some of the new series or even race in some future events or even in this event for next season. The Constructors' Championship then looks a little like this. Forever Forward Racing lead the way, 20 points clear of Team Prolapse. Team Prolapse being Nicky, This Man and KLF 900. Ready, Set, Go are in third place. Dean Wasocki and DJ Phil doing a good job from Lone Wolf Motorsport of Don Productions in P3. Team Club Runnings then are in fourth, and can they jump above the Lone Wolf of Don? This week, AA3D Printing, Alfie's been on his own for a bit of this time. Only 12 points of the 83 scored was by Leon Fernie. So Alfie doing the job there in P6 for AA3D Printing. P7 is Team Prolassi of BT Targa and X-Mart, MC Motorsport Season 1 champions down in P8. Piston Broke are 9th. Bringing up the rear in the Constructors. Excuse me again. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen. Bringing up the rear in the Constructors' Championship. Oh, the hay fever is not happening. He's not enjoying this today. But Beth doesn't start supporting you. Beth doesn't support you on Friday night, Matt. Unbelievable. It is terrible, Jamie. But hey, what you going to do? We've got 6 minutes left to practice then, and then we will be out there for the 10-minute short qualifying session that we have to offer here at Simplay Motorsport. Join us tomorrow night, live 8 PM BST, for the pro guys around Catalunya, where the weather looks pretty much the same. Absolutely scorching. What can them guys do? Can Dan recover his form from a disastrous week last week? Can Gary keep up the momentum he's got? And there's a key word in there, Liam, to keep going forward with his championship drive for a third consecutive title. Join us a week on Friday as well at 8 PM for the brand new GTE series. Just a short 6-race series of the GTEs before what looks to be on a Friday night, before a short and sweet IndyCar series before the new F1. Well, just as the new F1 game's coming out, gives people a month or so to buy the F1 game before we start a season on that. Join us on a Monday night as well, where Liam and Big Boy Brazier, Jamie Brazier, will be taking you on commentary for the GT5s. I myself on track made my Simplay debut properly in a competitive race for the first time Monday, and it was nice to be back out there on the track. 5 minutes left then of this session. Still the 4 Mercedes leading the way from a Ferrari, Audi, Porsche, Mercedes down in 8th, and then it's the McLaren, Porsche, McLaren, Porsche bringing up the rear as Fury there gets very squirrely on the rear end as he comes out the corner.
Yeah, he did quite well to hold that, to be fair.
Coming over the line then, doesn't improve. Just had a picture off of our good friend and double pro champ Gary 131 on the big screen tonight. Gonna learn the track by watching. There's no practice for me, is preparing for my holiday. We're on the big screen, which means evening to Gary and his partner, if she's there watching. Massive fans, and hopefully we can put on a good show for you tonight. While we are making the big screen, hopefully the Odeon will get word of this and they'll put it on the bigger screen at the cinemas. But you know, we can only dream. 4 minutes left then of this session, Liam, and it's really been against what I was predicting in the week, hasn't it? It's been a Mercedes dominant track so far. The Mercedes are all 4 out in front.
Yeah, but it's something you can kind of expect with it being the top 4 is usually for most tracks the Mercedes. I think you get those odd tracks where you're gonna have maybe your Porsches, maybe even the Audi, but to me, most of the time, it's the Mercedes that you're going to see in top 5 at least.
I did feel like the Mercedes was going to struggle tonight, but it isn't. You know, BT Targa and Fury are into the 1 minute 45s. Argent's in a mid 46. X-Mark's towards a high 46, but he's again 9/10 quicker than Alfie just behind.
Yeah.
As they come down then. 3 minutes left, few people in the pits, so they're just tweaking last little bits. Liam, what's your preparation? Talk us through your preparations, Liam, on a Thursday in the practice session. 20 minutes, what are you looking to do in that 20-minute time zone? What are we looking at?
For me, it's just making sure I'm ready for the race, because there's no points for a Saturday. Yeah. I just get yourself ready for the race is what I do. Make sure I keep myself as consistent as possible in this practice. During qualifying, I'll be obviously going out, getting my times, but practice, it's just making sure I'm as consistent as possible.
So just all about making sure your race runs are better than you are good and there.
Yeah.
Fair enough. As Don then has gone up into P3 with a low 1 minute 46, so splitting the 4 Mercedes is the little Audi, and hey, if he's going to put a fight to Fury in the championship, he needs to do just that then as he comes through the S's. And he's coming right now. I like Catalunya, race Catalunya a lot, mainly on the F1 game, not really racing a lot on project cars, mainly racing on the F1 platform. I like Catalunya until we get here, and then the car, I just seem to struggle around this part of the track. Welshie in the chat, come on MC Motorsport, Beth Duffin, if Gary is racing, then no one else has a look, as Don touched the gravel and lost the rear of the car. Gary, Team Cool Runnings clearly haven't prepped the car right this week. The chief mechanic preparing for holiday and unable to help in the Leach HQ workshop. Yep, Team Cool Runnings running the old Leach Motorsport cars, what is now the Leachy Legend boys. They are doing the business at the minute. Lone Wolf Motorsport has a new race engineer, says Ironbrew Racing. I wonder if that's the man who runs for Ironbrew Racing. Could Don be signed by the Ironbrew boys? I wonder then. Well, we've got 59 seconds, so guys pretty much on their last runs of this lap. And Fury currently lead from BT Targa. Don and Alfie in the pit, so they're not going to get themselves back out for another run at it. A few people coming to the end of their lap may just get one lap in here, so we'll have to see what they do. As here comes Smithy. Rounds the final bend. Oh, just losing the rear of the car there and bouncing into the wall, narrowly avoiding the Team Prolapse car. Don't quite know who that was, but he may just get one lap in. Dean then is on his flying lap. Let's stay on with Dean, see how he's going. He's just gone through sector 1. Jump on board, Dean, actually. Let's go for a lap round Catalunya, or half a lap round Catalunya on board, Dean. Down then into the left-hander as you're coming downhill. Start to come back uphill here. You got this fast-ish left-hander, bit of a dab on the brakes, down a gear or so, just clip the curb. You want to run over that curb there. Dean choosing not to then. Stay to the left, bit of a heavy braking zone here into a good long right-hander. Decks it nicely, uses the curb on the exit, and he's going to come back across to the right-hand side now then. Look for that 100-metre board, that's your braking marker. Dean braking just after it, and has done a good enough job. Clips the apex nicely, runs it out wide but not too far wide. Now you don't want to touch this curb here, as I say that Dean goes all over it then. To the left, to the right now, runs a bit wide at the exit of the corner then Dean does, runs over to that to the left hand side, back across, brakes into the right hander, short straight down again on the brakes. Make sure you get this bit right. You can take a bit of the curve there, nicely done. Run it out to the curb, now flat scat all the way down towards the line. Most people are coming in. Argent still on lap, Dean as well still on lap. Didn't use the most of the exit there, but as he comes across the line, is Dean going to improve on his P11? No, does not improve on his P11, so he is done. Evening to Monkey Boy, who was a father again on Saturday, so congratulations Monkey Boy and the Taylor family. Massive congratulations on the birth of your son. Argent then, he's about to cross the line. Five Mercedes, Dan. I've seen you, but Don split you. You wasn't there earlier. Don has split you. There is 5 Mercedes in the top 6, but Don has split you all. Nicky and NJ, then the 2 Porsches have jumped Alfie in the end of that one, and that is practice done for the time being. And it's BT Targa. We've seen Prolassi 3/10 quicker than Fury. What can BT do going forward into the qualifying session now? This is the all-important part of the to really get yourself set up for the night, Liam.
Yeah, this is where your times do count for where you're going to start in this first race. Obviously, in second race, you can only have half the grid qualify, if I'm correct.
Yeah, well, it will be 7.
The top 7 can
top 7,
only
yeah,
qualify.
the top 7 can't qualify for race 2, depending on how many start the race 1. But apologies, Daniel, I did say all 4. Apologies. Evening to Maze Gamer. Unfortunately, Maze, sorry, couldn't get you in. We are expecting Leon and Aiden. Not heard anything about they can't race, but might be able to get you in next week, Maze, for a race, because NJ and Don are both away. So we'll have to see if we can get you in there. There's Don Productions then, and Argent. Everybody out on track. Bar Smithy, BT, DJ Phil and X-Smart then. So the two Pro Lassie cars not yet choosing to come out the pits. Is that wise? Are you a straight out the garage onto the track, or are you hang back a little bit and create yourself some space?
I would be straight on track. You want to be getting in those times constantly, because you can always get quicker. And yeah, you just want to keep going on track, keep going and going and going until you've got faster times that you are happy with.
Yeah. Disco in the chat saying BT Target for the win again. Guys, 21 people watching, 11 likes. Hit that thumbs up button. Going to give you a bit of a rundown here of our average qualifying for Q1. The best average qualifier out there in qualifier 1 is Fury with a 2nd place. He's never been off the front row in qualifying. He's only ever started 1st or 2nd. He's never not been on the front row. So that's how good Fury has been in this one. Our worst qualifier, well, there's quite a few. Stealth Sloth, Smithy, DJ Phil, Green, Alfie and Leon Fernie have all got an average qualifying of 12th. Disco obviously was in the Pro before his promotion to Pro-Am, so we'll actually get rid of that one so them stats aren't then conflicted. Obviously BT Targa's average qualifying is 1st, but he's only done 1 Q1, so let's see where he is after tonight. If you're looking in the championship order, Don Productions has an average qualifying of, where is Don? There's his name. He has an average Q1 of 4th, so Don always on the 2nd row in terms of average qualifying position. And for KLF, his Q1 is only 7th. So Kelly, not the best qualifier, but as he was saying off earlier before we came on here, as long as his race pace is there, he's not bothered.
That's how it should be, to be fair. As much as your quali matters, your race matters even more. That's where you're getting your points. That's where you're getting your positions in the standings.
Indeed. So then, are we going to have a great battle between the 5 Mercedes out there on the track, as you see Daniel Francis and X-Smart just having 2 different lines? You've seen Daniel Francis take more of an F1 sort of race line through there. Now that may help the tyres. We're hearing a lot of tyres, Liam, in this one, and that tyres could be an issue.
Yeah, it's more to do with the track being so warm. As if you're on track now, obviously you'll know how warm the track is, but your tyres are going to burn up quite quickly, and you just need to make sure you look after them.
Exactly. We are in the evening here. It is 5 PM here in Barcelona, in Catalunya, so it is a bit of an evening race. 6 PM for the first race, and 7 PM for qualifying 2, and 8 PM for race 2. So it should get a bit cooler as the night goes on. But it has been blistering hot here all day, and it looks the same for tomorrow. I'll tell you what, do you want to tune in next week for Pro-Am and Pro on Wednesday night? Because the weather for Zhuhai looks rather interesting. Iron Brew Racing qualifying will be very important around here, and Maze Gamer going different to Disco, saying Fury for the win. So we'll have to see. Argent's gone provisional pole at the minute. 45s, wasn't in the 45s in practice, but he's dipped into there now. So good start for Argent, and his teammate pips him by 2.5 tenths then to go on pole position at the moment, as times now are starting to come in thick and fast. Where is X-Mart and BT Targa? Smithy and Dan as well, and Dean haven't set a time. X-Mart's gone P5, so not the best lap from X-Mart. Where is BT? Dean's crossing the line, but hasn't set a time. He has done a time. He's actually gone 12. So, very, very poor lap time for the Ready, Set, Go McLarens. He is BT then. Let's stay with him for the rest of his lap. Got a nice clear track in front of him. Good space around him as we jump onto the cockpit view. Nice and smooth on the wheel. Part of the Team Prolapse roster, and Team Prolapse very vocal in the Discord. They absolutely love it, and he's going to cross the line. Smithy's out-qualified Dean so far, and BT Targa puts it on pole into the 44s. We didn't see a 44 in practice. We're into the 44s in qualifying. 8/10 Fury has got to find, so Fury's got a job on if he wants to get that P1. Here then is Fury actually holding up Stealth Soft just a little bit, as Stealth Soft is going to make the move on Fury in qualifying this, so it just shows you how short the he's lost the rear, and they managed not to make contact there, but Fury then has had to bail out of that lap as Stealth Soft nearly made contact with him after nearly losing the car. And that is Kelly or Nicky trying to get past as well. Ivory Racing, you can definitely you can defend really easy around here. Sutty showed me that last night, so be interesting. Nicky crosses line, stays P4, doesn't go any quicker that time around. Where is Smithy and Dean then? Because Smithy 14 seconds off the pace, Dean then 34 seconds off the pace. That is X-Mart, I do believe, or BT Target's one of them, off in the background. Now what is Dean going to do then, as he's coming down towards the final chicane? Don't be afraid to use the curbs here, as Dean stays well away from that second curb. Yeah, don't be afraid to use them curbs. Dean round the final bend, flat scat. He's too much in the middle of the track. He really wants to come over to that curb. He's still in the middle of the track, and may lose a bit of speed coming through there, but crosses the line, and well, he's improved above Smithy, but he's only gone 13th place. The top three are in the pits as Daniel Francis has now gone into P3, so a heck of a lap from him. Good job. Smithy then using the curbs. What can Smithy do? Is he up on his time? Can he go back above Dean? Is Dean struggling tonight? Smithy there, look, you see, using the curb on the outside. Three drivers in the pits. They've got to get out sharpish. DJ Phil as well in the pits. Daniel Francis, Smithy crosses the line and goes ahead of Dean, DJ Phil and Stealth Soft. With DJ Phil in the pits, he's really got to get a lap in. Stealth Soft had to back out of his final lap last time around due to a little wiggle. McLaren is super sensitive to the curbs. Yeah, Maze, I agree, but I tried Dean's setup last night, and I have to say, rode the curbs very nicely, to be fair. Just seemed to, especially the last two in the final sector, really ride the curbs. Dean is in the pits, 2.5 minutes remaining. He really needs to make sure he gets out that pits then, if he's going to be in a position of getting in an extra place or two in this one. He did a 46 last night. He is nowhere near that at the minute. He is out the pits. Fury, Dan Francis, Nicky and Smithy still in the pits. The timer counting down then. No Aidan Bennett in yet. Hopefully he can get in for race 1. If not, hopefully he can get himself back in for race 2. Come on, Smithy, says Daniel Francis. Smithy doing his top job at the minute. Kelly's only down in 10th. He is Alfie then. Alfie running a good P8 at the moment. Good solid run for Alfie so far. Have you been impressed with the Ferrari this year, Liam?
It's definitely looked a lot better since last season. I can say that.
Oh, is it a bit of a wiggle? Is that because of it's in the Pro-Am and the Pro guys are a bit quicker?
Yeah, I think it may be because of that. It could also be to do with the driver can have a lot more control over the car, as Fiore and Alpha Dubs were struggling in that car, if I can remember correctly.
Yeah, they was. Apologies. Argent's just gone quicker than Fury into P2, so good qualifying at the minute for Argent. Fury never been off the front row of the grid. Well, he's got 1:07 to do it. Everybody that's in the pits right now will not get another lap in. BT defo the man to watch, says Disco. The Ferrari is the worst with the curb, says Maze Gamer. Not driven the Ferrari. As we're coming towards the end of qualifying, let's pick up someone at the back end of the track. There's a few crossing the line start a lap. Let's pick up some towards the back end of the track. Kelly's gone up to P6. He is Don down in 9th. He's halfway through. Who's coming through the last couple of corners? There's two just in front. One's Kelly, the other one is BT, because X-Mart's in the pits. DJ Phil's at the beginning of his lap. There is BT, so no, it might have been Fury then coming round the final corner. Let's see if Fury can get another lap in. It is Fury. Go on, NJ, says Smithy. For Mercedes, says Dan Francis. Then at the top of the timing screens at the minute, X-Mart being separated by the Prolapse cars. Here goes Fury then. Doesn't improve. Kelly behind him. Can he improve? No, stays P6 at the moment. Alfie's gone into the pit, so he's not going to improve from there, although I did think I saw him coming down the pit lane. Here comes Don Productions then. Car behind Don, I do believe, is DJ Phil, so we'll check to DJ Phil in a minute. It might be Argent, actually. Can Don improve? He won't get another lap in. Don doesn't improve, so he stays P9. DJ Phil's not the car. I think it's Kieran Argent. It is going to be Kieran Argent. Now, can Kieran cement his position on the front row? No, he dives into the pit lane there then. So Kieran will not get it done. DJ Phil and BT Targa are out. DJ Phil up on his time enough that could take him up a couple of positions here. This is real crucial stuff. I think the only other man left on a lap behind these two is Dean Wasocki. We'll stay with these two for now, though. And here comes DJ Phil Green. Nice into the final sector. BT Targa will just be getting that toe. He knows he's pretty much got the pole position here. And so far so good. BT peels off into the pit lane then, so he is done with his qualifying. Can DJ Phil Green up his position in this qualifying at the moment? He can, and goes P11, so great qualifying for him. What then can this man, Dean Wasocki, do? He's got a lot of work from his position to get done so far. He's not had the best of qualifyings at the minute. Can he get anywhere up the order?
Yeah.
Yes, he goes P11, so 11th for him, 12th for DJ Phil in the end. So good qualifying. Daniel Francis qualifies in P4. Fury still out on lap. Forgot Fury was still on a lap. Smithy will start 13th. NJ, I didn't get to see where NJ was just then. We'll tell you in just a moment.
Fury's got to P2.
Fury went P2 in the end. It's a great lap from Fury at that final time to keep his 100% record of finishing on that, starting on that front row of the grid. Nicky, great job for him in P5 and Kelly P6 as well. So it's BT Targa from Fury, from Argent, who will be gutted to miss out on the front of the grid, but happy for his teammate. Daniel Francis 4th, Nicky in 5th with KLF 6th. X-Mart is P7. Excuse me, as Alfie is in P8. Don Productions is P9. P10 goes to NJ. Dean 11th in the end with DJ Phil 12th. Smithy 13th and Stealth Sloth bringing up the rear in P14. Liam, who are you tipping for this race win?
I'm going to have to go with BT Targa. It's 6 tenths quicker than everyone else in qualifying time. The only thing is he consistent and stable enough to manage the race without spinning?
Yeah, completely agree. Evening to Cillian, Green Pies, for those who know him. Nice to see you in the chat. So, Daniel, just to point out, Fury keeps his average of 2nd. BT Targa's average in qualifying is 1st. Don's is now dropped to 5th from 4th. Who else? Daniel Francis' average qualifying is now 5th. So good consistent qualifying from Daniel Francis. 4th, 6th, 4th, 5th, 4th. So really consistent from him. Kieran as well has just improved his Q1 average to 6th place. 4 poles for Fury this year. 2 for BT Targa. 1 for Kelly. 1 for Nicky. And 1 that we won't mention, which was Cam, obviously, before Cam got banned. Then, guys, 20 people watching, 13 likes. Hit that thumbs up button. We're about to get underway. Pit window, lap 6 in this first race. Provided he starts, this will be Argent's 50th appearance. So great milestone for Argent. And what a way to do it, Liam, as well, by making your 50th appearance, getting P3 on the grid. Good qualifying.
Oh, yeah. You can't make it up, really.
It'll be nice if Phil could do a similar thing in Q2, wouldn't it? And get that sharp end of the grid for the Q2. If he finishes below the top 7, of course, to really make his 50th start in that one. Gary, the grid looks bunched. They look nose to tail, haha. It does look a bit tight, doesn't it? There don't look to be much room between many of them. If you get a bad start, that could ruin your chances. Good luck, says Dean Wasocki and Daniel Francis. Yes, indeed, good luck. Dean up in his qualifying a little bit. In that last run. Don for a podium, says Gary. Dean Wasocki, average qualifying Q1, P9. So just outside where he'd have liked to have been in qualifying. But hey ho, it's all about the race now. Our attention turns to the race, and the revs are rising, Liam. And we're going to be green for the first time tonight. We are green here. And who gets the best of getaways? Look at the Porsche. If he's at Nicky or Kelly in the background, I can't quite see. Daniel Francis in his Mercedes as well. Looks like he's got a good launch. All defending and covering each other off. All really good getting away here. Long run down to turn 1. And in they come now. Keep it nice and clean and tidy. And it all looks to be Kieran Argent has jumped Fury at the start. Nicky's also got himself ahead of Dan. And Fury then losing out to his teammate early doors. But no dramas coming through the first couple of corners. Everybody through cleanly, Liam.
Yeah, that's what you want to really see, Val. Nice, clean turn 1.
Look at Argent.
That's just what you want to see.
Look at Argent here. He's really putting the pressure on BT Targa, and these two had a great battle last week at Donington Park, and Argent looking up the inside and had to be late on the brakes. BT very wide to make sure Argent didn't go into the side of him. Now Argent's coming under pressure from his teammate Fury, who has that job done and is attacking BT Targa at the same time. Can't get tucked in there as he slips back into P2. BT all over the curb. Fury doesn't choose to take the curb, thinks of a different route to go round, and so far so good. What has happened to Argent actually? Down to 14th, so he lost out to his teammate and he's all the way down in last. What has happened there to Kieran? What a shame for him. Nicky's up to 3rd. Daniel stays now 4th. And here's Fury looking around the outside at the hairpin. Kelly's got himself up into 5th. Alfie, good stop for him, up into P6 as well. But Fury really attacking BT Targa now, and I think Fury knows with BT coming into the championship, if he's to win this, he's got to do it the hard way. He's got to beat the likes of BT Targa and Xmart.
Yeah, like you say, if he wants to stay where he is in the championship, he needs to make sure that...
Wow! BT very, very wide there. Sorry to cut you off, Liam. Fury not getting the run, though, on that final corner they'd have liked. Look at Nicky in the background. Here comes Fury, though. That bit of toe with the Mercedes power. Mercedes versus Mercedes. How used to it are we seeing Mercedes at the front of a grid? Not anymore in the F1 at the moment, anyway. But Fury up the inside at turn 1. And he's got that one done nice and easy. BT doesn't fight him too hard there. They've got a long race to run. They know tyres are going to be important. Aiden has got past KLF. Alfie has got past KLF. Kelly's got Xmart and NJ right on the rear of him. Dean down into 13th place. So that consistency we spoke about. He's again made a mistake somewhere and he's down in 16th. Argent, he's just not able to catch up to the back of this pack. But back to the front. Look at this battle between these guys, Liam.
Yeah, it's nice to see fights like this, especially when it's a back and forth kind of one, which I'm hoping that's what this becomes, a back and forth kind of battle.
NJ's just got past Kelly as you was talking to that on the standings. I don't know if we can see that. Yep, there is Kelly. Look, just behind NJ now. Alfie, look at Alfie just a bit further forward, looking all over the back of the Mercedes of Daniel Francis, and he's really doing a top job here. Smithy must have had a problem as he's lost out to Dean. NJ very wide, and Kelly, I think, has lost the rear of the car. He's gone into the wall. Xmart was the car behind him. NJ as well has lost out to Xmart. Oh, Xmart deep at the hairpin, you see in the background, and NJ will get that place back, but Alfie keeping the pressure on. NJ all over the curve there. Now the Don having a look at Xmart here, and he's looking to tuck that Audi underneath Xmart, and he's done just that. They just rubbed doors there a little bit, and Xmart won't be too pleased with that, but neither will the Don then, and Don gains another place up into P7 now for Don Productions. Xmart down to 8th. Argent's got past Smithy then, as Dean has got himself ahead of Kelly. Kelly drops down to P12 at the moment in time then. So it is Fury from BT Targa, from Nicky, from Daniel Francis, who is already defending from Alfie, but the power of the Mercedes down the straight line is working brilliant there to get him in. Aidan Bennett will be in race 2, work round late. Sad face, it's fine, Aidan, don't you worry about it. Alfie then draw low all over the curb and has lost the rear of the car and ploughs into the wall and manages to not let the car roll forward onto the track. The Mercedes of BT Targa has passed on Productions and has got ahead of him there, but NJ starting to get them to, and Alfie then, just as he was looking good, has lost himself a couple of places. He's got himself some damage to the front of his car, Liam.
Yeah, if I was Alfie right now, I wouldn't be very pleased with that. Just maybe pushing the car a little bit too much going through the turns.
Did look like he hit the curb hard, didn't it?
Yeah, you don't want to be doing stuff like that. You just want to keep it nice and consistent, like I've said before.
Yeah.
Keep it nice and consistent. Make sure you cut out the mistakes, and you should be A-OK.
Don there just running a little, getting a bit squirrely then as you're coming through the left and right. Just dropped off the back of Xmart a little bit as NJ's now being caught by Xmart. NJ's up to 5th place. Dan Francis at the minute, P4, doing a stellar job in his Mercedes now. He's got no pressure of the Ferrari behind. Back to the battle up front though. BT Targa looking good value for his money at the minute. He's just patiently waiting behind Fiori, isn't he, Liam? He's not attacking him too hard. He knows there's still a long way to go in this race.
Yeah, he might be holding off for now, preserving his tyres, and maybe, just maybe, try and pressure Fiori into a mistake.
Indeed, you're right there then. Fiori currently leading. BT Targa was quicker last time around. Just looking down the order, Phil looks like he's trying to get himself on the back of Alfie then. After Alfie's little mistake, pit window opens in 2 laps. Look at Stealth Sloth trying to stay with Phil and trying to gain on NJ. There is Kelly in the background. What's happened to Dean again? Another mistake has put him down 2 more places here. So Dean just can't get rid of this inconsistency, can he? He's just too many mistakes too many times for Dean. Otherwise he'd be a front runner, if you ask me.
Yeah, I could say the same. He's just being too inconsistent at the moment.
Dean's problem is, and I know for Gary watching, is he overdrives the car. And Gary will know what I mean from a previous league we was all in. He overdrives the car and makes too many mistakes. DJ Phil looking all over the back though, his teammate looking all over the back of Alfie here. Dean then, plenty of time to go. There's still a lot of laps left. Go on the 143 car, says Gary in the chat. DJ Phil, though, looking mighty on the back of the Ferrari of Alfie. 2 cars very similar. Very good through the corners, not great on the straights, but Alfie with damage. And has he just lost the rear of that? Has he managed to hang on to it? We'll see as we come round. Yeah, but he's lost a lot of time, and DJ Phil then is looking to get that run up the inside of Alfie, and Alfie can't defend from him. DJ Phil is going to do him in the straights. Alfie losing the rear. Is he going to have a look back up the inside? No. DJ Phil has managed to keep that door shut. Job done at the minute. Stealth Soft will be looking on the back of these, thinking he'll want a piece of that, as will Kelly in the background as well. And Argent's not really came through the field, has he?
No, I think maybe from incident that might have happened, he might have. When I say
it looks like he's got a bit of
spin,
damage there, doesn't he, on the front? That front end looks a bit crunched up, doesn't it?
I think maybe what he's done is just lost the car, hit him to a wall, which has caused him to disform his front car.
Disform, love it. Possibly then. Kelly then gaining on the back of Stealth Soft. Stealth Soft just making 1 or 2 mistakes in this one so far. So Kelly will be gaining on him and he'll be looking to try and get past. There you see Argent in the background, and behind Argent you see the light blue machine of Dean Wasocki then. He'll want to be on this battle with his teammate DJ Phil, knowing that him and Phil are running similar pace. In fact, last night Dean looked a little quicker than Phil, so he'll know that he's got the pace to be P8 at this minute in time. Alfie not giving it up after his spin and hard hit into the wall. He's still keeping the pressure on Phil, isn't he, at the moment?
Yeah, that's what you want to be doing. No, you might want to either just stay on the back of him, maybe pressure him into a mistake, or even just stay on the back of him until you see the opportunity to get past.
Rightly so then. BT Targa and Fiori 6 seconds up the road from Nicky. Daniel Francis then in a comfortable 3rd place. Xmart looking to get on the back of NJ. Don running on his own just behind them two, but it's the battle then for the lead at the moment, and it really is a good battle so far. It is. BT Targa really and we seen this last week at Donington with Kieran and himself. He was very, very patient trying to get past Kieran, knowing that there's a long race ahead and there's plenty of opportunities to do so.
Yeah, that's just one thing you need to keep in mind. It is a long race. There's plenty of times when there is an opportunity for passing, and because they're both in roughly the same machinery, they have roughly the same pace.
Yeah. Argent's got past Stealth Sloth, so is Kelly then. Dean's now on the back of Stealth Sloth. Is this where Dean could maybe make an overtake or two? He's gaining a bit closer, so as Stealth Sloth made a mistake somewhere, Dean getting closer, and it'll be looking interesting here. Now this is what Dean doesn't want to do. He doesn't want to think, oh, there's a car there now, let's push hard to get past. Just bide your time, just wait that little bit. Pit window opens at the end of the next lap, so for those who started lap 6, their pit window's open. The pit window opens now for these guys. Now they can pit at the end of the next lap if they really want to. And Dean here, look at the run Dean's got through the final corner. Stovsoff's tried to defend from him, but he can't. He's trying to come across, but Dean is there. Dean Wysocki then is looking up the inside at the minute of Stovsoff. So they're heading down towards turn 1. Dean has that job done and could just come back across enough to get it back onto that racing line into the braking zone. Good job from Dean Wysocki up into P12. Now what can he do from there? How can he progress from there? You've got KLF who's just passed Alfie as well, so Kelly has managed to pick him up another place as the cameraman was glitched out there. Kelly, there he is, look, managed to get past Alfie, so that's P9 for KLF after his earlier spin. And now he's going to hunt down DJ Phil, as Alfie had another problem here because he was on the back of DJ Phil last lap. He's now dropped off quite a significant amount, Liam, so I wonder if another mistake's been made there.
You'll probably find that quite a lot, to be fair, around this track. Like I said during the qualifying, your tyres are going to be getting quite warm, which just makes it a bit more easy to make a mistake.
Yeah,
more
really
vulnerable
does.
to one.
You are indeed. As Alfie there, locking up his brakes a bit deep into the hairpin. Coming with so much speed, but managed to get it stopped then.
Very slow there.
He is very slow on the exit. What can then these boys do? NJ is gaining on the back of Daniel Francis here, so just slowly chipping away is the Porsche driver, the 143 of Gary Leach last season, of NJ this year, the Team Cool Runnings car. Down into the first 2 corners, the chicane for the first couple of bends. NJ just taking it nice and easy now. Is the Porsche a bit better on its tyres? As Alfie then is the first man, Liam, into the pits. I was just about to say, is the Porsche maybe a bit better on its tyres than what the Mercedes might be? And is that why we're seeing NJ being able to gain on the back of Daniel Francis? Stealth Sloth as well is also in.
Possibly. I don't drive the Porsche myself, so I don't know what the tyre wear whatnot is with the car. But it's a possibility.
Indeed it is then, as these two really starting to get close to each other now. BT really starting to reel in Fury at this moment in time, and he's really starting to put the pressure on him at this moment. And as for BT Targa, he's been patient, runs a little wider there than what he'd have maybe liked, but he's patient. And is it paying off for him? Alfie and Stovsoff still in the pit, so obviously they're repairing their damage. As Fury very wide on exit takes out the braking marker. Was on the gravel a bit now. Luckily enough, he's got this very tight complex coming up where he's not going to lose that much time to BT. So it's not going to cost him a great deal. And BT there, you just see Fury being able to get out that complex a bit better than BT Targa.
Yeah, and from what it looks like, he's actually gained quite a couple tenths over that as well.
There's Stealth Sloth coming out the pits then, so he will be a lap down early doors in this one, but obviously he's just pitted. The other guys are still to pit. Can Stealth Sloth now? He's got to go on a long charge here, and look at these three. Here is Daniel Francis, NJ and Xmart then, all battling for P4. So what can these boys do? NJ's going to have a look into turn 1. Daniel goes defensive. NJ can't get past. Can Fury endure the pressure, says Disco in the chat. Daniel Francis just running deep into 2, and he was all over the curb, and NJ has that run up the inside of Daniel Francis, and that is job done into turn 3 as the cameraman is getting lost here. And we pick him back up now, and there is Xmart. He's looking for an Argents into the pits at the end of lap 7. And Xmart now looking up the inside of Daniel Francis. He's done good so far as Daniel, but he's now maybe, has he just overcooked his tyres a little bit? Or is that slipstream from the car behind, that he's gave the car behind, just finally paid off them? Daniel, though, looking back up the inside of Xmart, can't get the job done around there. Now he's going to have that tow. And what can NJ do, as well as Xmart and Daniel Francis? What can these three do? Kieran Argent, a few emojis there in the chat. He's not a happy bunny at the moment. As NJ just all over the curve. They've gapped Daniel Francis this lap, Liam, so they've got past and gapped him slightly already.
He looked like he kind of ran the S, I believe it's called, a little bit wide as he goes wide there.
Yeah, maybe struggling with his tyres now is Daniel then, on the front of his Mercedes, as this is BT Target trying to get past Stealth Sloth. Stealth Sloth will stay to the right now to let the leaders through. No luck this race, hit on flap 1, now pit error. So Kieran Argent is now a lap down to his teammate, and Stealth Sloth and Alfie have passed him. So Argent is having a terrible race 1 What a shame. On his 50th race as well, it's not gone the way he'd have wanted it to.
Yeah, this is the kind of stuff that you can't really help your pit stop errors and whatnot. It's just what the game does. It's literally just with that setting on, it's just what the game does. It's not avoidable in any way.
No, it isn't. Daniel Francis gaining back up to the rear of Xmart. Then has Xmart made a mistake? Kieran Argent, there you see, as the cameraman wants to pick up Alfie again. As we go then back down to Don Productions. Now back to Daniel Francis. If you change the camera angle of the car, that sometimes will do it a bit better. Daniel Francis then on the back of Xmart. Did Xmart make a mistake towards the back end of that lap? Has Daniel Francis now got a bit of confidence to get back ahead? Let's keep an eye on Argent's progress now then. With others having to pit, brilliant racing so far. Nearly as good as our race round here the other day. If that Jamie means the one me and you had, Jamie, then yeah, really good side-by-side race for most of it. And these Mercedes doing the business at the minute. BT Targa 4/10 off the back of Fury for the lead, but this is the battle for P5 and 6 at the moment on track with Argent there in the background. Would love to be battling for P5 and 6, but he's unfortunately a lap down and he's near enough 10 seconds behind Stelv Sloth, the closest car to him on the circuit. That error and then having to repair his damage if he had any, Liam, as well as his normal pit stop that he may have done, is really going to hurt him here as he's gone very deep at the hairpin. Alfie and Stelv Sloth have got past. That could allow Dean and Kelly to keep in front when they come to make their pit stops, couldn't it?
Yeah, it could, to be fair, Matt.
Kelly here then on the back of DJ Phil in the Porsche, looking like it's trying to gain on that McLaren. Dean's the car behind, but he's 11 seconds as Nicky's into the pits at the end of lap 9, apologies. So Nicky in. He's just now dropped a couple of places to the top 5. Don will then be coming around. Can he get out before Don? Who knows? But Kelly at the minute can't pit unless his teammates are away. Now, could the team have just played this strategy right? Well, Kelly's not going into the pits yet. He's staying out on the track. So Kelly doing the business. That's why then you can see Nicky there still in his pit box as they was coming around the final corner. So they've passed Nicky as well. So Nicky just dropping down the order a bit then to P9. He should come out before Dean because Dean's there in the background and Nicky's nearly at the exit to the pit lane. So Nicky should come out ahead of Dean. Dean, of course, still to pit as Smithy now comes in for his stop. So Smithy in. BT Targa really on the back now of Fury, like he has been for quite some time here, and he's really starting to put the pressure on him still. He's not let. I say he started to put the pressure. He's not let the pressure off, Liam, has he?
No. That's usually what happens when you're in the top 3. You just keep the pressure on. Obviously, you keep yourself out of trying to spin and whatnot, but you're always having that pressure on to get the extra positions.
Yeah. BT Targa and Fury driving a cracking race here where they're just trading lap times at times. BT's quicker at times, Fury's quicker. They're just being able to stay with each other, gap the rest of the field, and this is exactly what they are needing to do to get themselves through this race. DJ Phil has just gapped KLF slightly then as Smithy then goes another lap down. There is Stelv Sloth in the background coming through the final corner. He's now 6 seconds ahead of Argent, and them two have both pitted as we head to lap 11 of 18. Xmart then has brought himself into the pits at the end of lap 10. The leaders are on lap 11 of 18 as we're picking up Alfie once again here. Not sure why the cameraman is doing that. We now cut back to BT Target. Where else have we got a battle? DJ Phil's actually close to the back of Don, or gaining on the back of Don, should I say. These three still not pitted yet. Kelly's with them, and they're all going to jump Xmart. Xmart now being released from the pits. There's Nicky in the background, so can Xmart jump Nicky? Let's just go to Nicky and see if Xmart can get out the pits before Nicky. You hear that Mercedes coming, you see the Mercedes to the left of your screen behind the names. Nicky's managed to stay in front of Xmart then. Nicky was a couple of seconds in front of Xmart, and that looks to be the same as what it was. So Nicky then, still looking like he's going to be running on that podium position here, and is doing a top job so far of getting what he needs to for the Team Prolapse guys at the minute. BT Targa keeping the pressure on the front runner of Fury. Great racing from these two. In fact, to be fair, Liam, it's been quite good racing from the whole field tonight for the Pro-Am.
Oh yeah, it's a bit of a shock because usually you get to see a lot more people spin, a lot more people crash. Not saying it's obviously good, but I mean, you usually get to see a lot more action within crashes and whatnot in Pro-Am. Whereas in your in Pro, obviously you're getting to see more of this. It's starting to show more like the Pro-Am could turn to the Pro.
A lot more maturity being shown by these drivers, isn't there, now that there's a few new faces on the grid. BT Targa then keeping that pressure on Fury at the moment, and he's doing really well. Come on, Fury, says Maze Gamer in the chat. He's doing a stellar job at the minute as the cameraman again wants to pick up Alfie. I'm not sure why it keeps glitching out like that. Now, back down the order. DJ Phil still close to the rear of Don, as Kelly is trying to gain on the rear of both of them too. Nobody coming in the pits then in the top 7 at the moment. Nicky and Xmart have pitted. Dean then, the one down in 10th who's yet to pit. Now, Dean could really do with coming in. Everybody around him's pitted. Oh, we've lost Smithy. We've lost Smithy, so he will not score any points from this one, unfortunately. Hopefully we can get him back for race 2, but we've lost Smithy for this first race. Dean then not yet pitted, Liam. He's about 20, nearly 30 seconds in front of the car of Alfie behind him. He's surely got to come in sooner rather than later. I mean, he lapped 10 seconds slower than Alfie last time round. He's done a 49.3 as the cameraman's trying to pick up Alfie. When does Dean come in? When's the right time for Dean to come in terms of not losing out to Alfie, Stelfsloff or Argent?
I mean, if Alfie's already pitted, then
yeah, Alfie,
now...
Stelfsloff and Argent have pitted.
Ah, right. I would say maybe now, but it depends on what might be going in his team orders, because obviously DJ Phil in a fight with KLF might want to go in for the undercut or overcut or whatever it is.
Yeah, he might want to, but
it's all down to really team orders, or most part just easiest way of saying it.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think he's got to get himself in now before the others start to catch up to the back of him. Then he's only 5 seconds off the back of Xmart, but he's not racing Xmart at all, because Dean knows, or should know, he's got to pit as Dan Francis then comes in from P4. Now, he was behind Xmart, has him going longer, helped him in terms of getting in and out before Xmart can get round. Daniel Francis, there you see his pit crew out waiting for him. We'll keep an eye. Let's go on to Xmart then. There's Don, so Don's not pitting. DJ Phil's not pitted either, because he's gone with Don. It's not come up with him in the pits yet, and Kelly doesn't look like he's pitted either, so them 3 have stayed out. Now, Daniel Francis, is he yet away in the pit lane? We'll be able to tell as the camera pans round. We can't tell at the minute. I can't tell you now as the camera pans round. No, he's slid his pit box. You see there to the right. So Xmart then is going to get Daniel Francis done. That is another position for Xmart then. And this not playing in the way. Engine failure on the pit, says Daniel Francis. What a shame. What a shame for Daniel. Dean Wasocki then, he must be listening to the stream, Liam, because he's in.
Oh. Yeah, that was probably for the best, to be fair, listening to the stream.
Right, so where's Alfie? This is the big question. Where is Alfie? He's there, but he's got the leaders. He slows down to let BT Targa through and get out of the leader's way, so that's not going to have helped him as well. Now we stay on Alfie. Where do we see Dean's car leaving the pits yet? What is going to happen? I think that's Fury diving in. No, yeah, Fury. So Fury's dived in as well at the end of lap 13. Dean's not in the pits. He's on his way out. So has Dean managed to jump Alfie here? Dean on his way out. I think Alfie will get this one done, because, yeah, Alfie will get that one done. But Dean will be able to see Alfie now and will be able to get Alfie done here. Disco, BT undercut. Don't think so, because Fury's gone for the undercut. So what can Fury do? Kelly on the back of DJ Phil. What can KLF 900 do here? Sticky, can he get it past? Can he stick the move and make it done?
That is what we're about to find out.
The radio DJ versus the other DJ who does gigs, a few gigs on a Sunday night's coming up, I believe, from Kelly. DJ versus DJ. None of them going into the pits. Now, what happened? Oh, Kelly's lost the rear! Oh, just as we were saying he was doing a good job. Oh, and reset button from KLF. That'll be a points deduction. What a shame for Kelly.
Naughty, that is.
Yeah, that one's a naughty one there for KLF. He's let his teammate through. Xmart's coming down the straight as well. Oh dear, what a shame for KLF 900, because he was looking good and they used to reset. But there's Daniel Francis round. He's round. Alfie's got past him. Where's Dean Wasocki? He's there. Daniel just keeps it out of the way, and Dean's got past Daniel now, so he's terrible pit stop for Daniel. And Argent today in this race have really put them down the order here. 26 people watching, 15 likes. Guys, let's smash that thumbs up and let's get this video to 20 likes before we get to race 2. KLF then hitting the reset button, will be deducted 5 points from his championship total there. What an error from Kelly as well. But BT Targa leads this race. When is he going to pit? Fury came in at the end of lap 13. BT not pitting, so he's trying to extend his run. He's only got lap 15, 16 and 17 left to pit. There is Alfie. Where's Dean? He's only a couple of seconds behind. There's Dean, so Dean can see the Ferrari. Can Dean motor on his way to get the Ferrari, to get that P9 position that he'll want so bad? Argent has made no inroads here whatsoever. Dan Francis, oh, it's gone from bad to worse. He's back in the pit lane.
Oh, that will promote these two up as well by another one position, should I say? Yeah. It's not good when you see stuff like that, especially when they're in a battle.
Yeah, it's not good
Might
at all.
have cooked the tyres up a little bit too much.
Overdriving, being annoyed, says Daniel Francis in the chat. That's why he lost it. He says he's now down to 30th. What a run Daniel was having as well. He was driving so well in this race. Now a gearbox error in the pits for Daniel Francis. Oh, what is going on with the piston broke? Pit crew, everything bar the piston is broke on that car with the sounds of it. BT Targa then, lap 15. Kelly's come straight into the pits here. So he is in at the end of lap 14 for his stop. DJ Phil is yet to stop, by the way. So he's Don, NJ, BT Targa. They've all got to come into the pits. Argent is now back on the pack of them. When can I retire? You can technically retire from now. Lap 13 would have scored you points, Daniel. So you can retire from now unless you want to get to the end. This will score you points, but here goes Argent. He's having a look for the move up the inside of Stolzoff, just getting on the curb. Stolzoff gives him plenty of room. Up that inside goes Kieran, running on the curb a little bit. Oh, he's lost the rear. Oh, he's gone up the inside, touches the curb and loses the rear. And Argent there was looking for that extra place, but he's not going to have it now. As out the pits comes Kelly and Daniel Francis. And there is BT Targa to start lap 16. BT Targa then has got to pit this at the end of this lap or the end of the next lap, so we'll have to keep an eye on when he pits. But Kieran there was trying to make their moves and he couldn't get it done. Evening all, come on Fury, says Fury's mum. Well, your man's second, the leader's got to pit, so is second place, and he's doing well, is Fury so far. NJ now in at the end of lap 15, so there's one of them in, so Fury then should get himself ahead of NJ here. In fact, yeah, look, there he is coming around that final corner. Stealthsoft has led him through. Has he? Stealthsoft looks like he was fighting him back there, to be honest with you. Stealthsoft trying to fight back against Fury then, and he's a lapped car. NJ then in the pits. Can't really see much of NJ. There he is. Don's not pitted. DJ Phil hasn't pitted. We're still viewing NJ as NJ now leaves his pit garage. Where's Nicky? Because Nicky was behind. It was ahead of NJ. There is Nicky. Where's NJ? Been passed. Has Xmart got NJ? Because Xmart was battling Nicky as well. I think Xmart going early. He has his undercut NJ then. So the undercut works for Xmart then. Great stuff from him. And at this moment in time, Daniel Francis and Argent will be livid with themselves. BT Targa, lap 16. When is he going to think about bringing it into the pits? He's coming to the back end of his lap now. Any battles on track? DJ Phil still close-ish to Don. Nicky's gaining on the pair of them. NJ's a couple of seconds off the back of Xmart. And Kelly, as close, Alfie is close to Kelly as Dean is to Alfie. So Dean actually within a couple of seconds of Alfie. BT pulls the trigger. Lap 16. So now then, where is Fury? He's only halfway through the lap, so Fury at the minute not close enough. BT needs a stellar pit stop here to stay out in front of Fury. Let's see what will happen. He's not yet at his pit box. Coming into the final section, Fury will be pushing like mad now. We've had one retirement. That was Smithy, retired just before the points go out on lap 13. Lap 12, sorry. BT Targa Still in the pits. Oh, a bit of a cut there for Fury. Got the chicane horribly wrong. BT Target still in the pits. Is he in his pit box? We'll see as the camera pans round. He's not in his pit box. He's coming out the pits. We'll see as the camera zooms out. There's BT Target, and he's gone longer, and he's going to do absolute bits here. Is BT Target? He's caught Fury. The overcut has worked. Don pitted. No, he hasn't yet. Says Aidan Bennett. No, he hasn't. And there you go. Then BT Target has overcut Fury. Liam, what a strategy!
Oh yeah. That's the kind of stuff that I said like earlier, bit of a back and forth kind of battle. That's what could be happening on these last 2 laps.
And this race isn't over yet. Fury's going to give everything he's got to get that race win. He's on the rear end of BT. He can smell the gearbox. He can sniff the engine. The exhaust fumes will be all over his windscreen, and Fury's going to really want to get on the back of this coming into this final lap. But BT, the experience of BT, can he make it stick? Can he keep it there? Dean has made pretty much another error, I think, because he was a lot closer to Alfie than that. But here goes Fury. The lights are on. He's really on the back of these boys now. He really wants to get this race win. They're going to have 1 lap after this, and they are pushing tooth and nail. BT just touching the gravel maybe there. Not affecting him too badly so far, but Fury still hot on his tails as we come into the hairpin corner. Fury looking for that dive underneath, can't get it done, nearly taps the rear of BT Target but manages not to then. And Fury wants that race win, he wants it bad. Argent's back on the rear end of Stoff again for position here. Dean has lost out massively to Alfie then, who's trying to gain on KLF. And you've got DJ Phil and Don, who's got to pit at the end of this lap, otherwise they will be disqualified from the race. And we're going to have 1 lap to go. Fury will have that slipstream of BT Targa here and will be able to use that Mercedes grunt in the toe down the straight. Mercedes versus Mercedes. It's not Hamilton and Bottas, it's BT and Fury. We're expecting Don and DJ into the pits this lap. In the background, Fury's teammate looking to gain an extra place. Fury's got to go the long way round, but if he can make it stick round the outside, he'll be up the inside for turn 2. Is he going to be able to keep his nose in there? No, he can't. Oh, a bit of a tap! Oh. Bit of a tap on the rear, and BT's lost out.
Oh.
Don into the pits, lap 17. Phil into the pits, lap 17. But BT there, bit of a wiggle on the rear, and Fury's got past. Maybe a steward's investigation. We'll have to see about that one. But Fury then leads this race so far, Liam, and he's doing what he needs to do.
Oh yeah, this is the kind of stuff you're gonna see for when he's trying to keep his championship where it is, because obviously you've got BT Targa who's going to be coming up quite close to him if he keeps getting his race wins, but Fury doesn't want him to do that. He just wants to block him off.
Don is in and out of the pits. He drops down to P6. DJ Phil is 7th. This is the battle, KLF and Alfie there for them to come across the line. Fury then has got past. We're off Fury and BT on the lap. They're coming. We're off Fury, coming towards the back end of the track. So we'll catch the other battles in just a moment. We'll stick with these two as these two are about to cross the line to win the race. BT didn't leave enough space there at all, said Mace Gamer. From Iron Brew Racing and Disco McDisco Face. If that one goes to the stewards, I wouldn't like to be the steward who has to look at that. Oh wait, I am the steward who has to look at that. Fury then coming into this final chicane. He looks like he's going to take another win this year. Race win number 6 for Fury. He's going to have that job done. Will there be a steward's inquiry? We'll find out and we'll wait and see. But Fury then wins this first race. BT Targa, 3 podiums in a row. It's going to be another P2 for him. Where is Nicky in the background? There's KLF and Alfie. We'll get back to him in just a moment. Where is Nicky? Nicky then coming to the final chicane. Nicky's not been on the podium since...
Kieran.
Oh, as Kieran had another spin, so Stelzloff's got back ahead. We're going to see Nicky cross the line. Nicky then hasn't been on the podium since the first race at Daytona. He's going to take another P3 for the Team Prolapse team. BT Targa is going to come home in a 4th place. Great job from him. Kieran Argent on his 50th appearance will be one he wants to forget. That's P12 for him. NJ then, a great solid result for NJ. Again, a P5. Don Productions is down in 6th, but it's a decent result for the Don. Matches his lowest result of the season, so he's been top 6 or better every race he's raced in so far. So Don Productions then will get P6. Daniel Francis 13th. Poor Daniel Francis, not the race for him as well. They're behind Don Productions. Where then is DJ Phil and Alfie in the background? Oh, Alfie gives him a huge tap in the rear. Alfie gives him a huge shunt, and that really he's not gone past, so he's kept the place. But look at these three. It's going to be a race to the line. Is DJ Phil going to keep hold of it? Kelly's lost out to both of these two. Here goes Alfie trying to watch DJ Phil across the line. They tap a little bit. Is Alfie going to get the job done? No, it's Phil, just ever so slightly from Alfie then in P8. KLF will come home 9. Disappointing race for himself. Dean Wasocki, what could have been from him, but again, just too much inconsistency costing him races here in this one. He's going to cross the line for P10 and Stove Sloth P11 in that one.
Bit of a flap of the front bumper as well.
Who gets the fastest lap? Let's wait and see. Furia 46.2.
I think it may have been... Oh, yeah, no, it's Dan Francis.
Dan Francis with a 45.6. Well, there we go then. Daniel Francis will take the fastest lap of the race. Liam, what do you make that first one?
Oh, action-packed. That is one of the best Pro-Am races I've watched out of all of them that have been so far. And commentated on.
Well, we're going to take a very quick break. We'll be back with race 2 in just a moment. Guys, don't go anywhere. Grab yourself a drink, get yourself to the toilet and back, because we'll be back in about 5 minutes with the driver interview and the race 2. So see you in a minute.
You're the night sky trying to make me see your stars, but the dark gets so lonely. Now I see violet, I can feel silence. In the dark's all that I see. When your stars are burnt out and your heart makes no sound, I'll find violet in your eyes. You'll always be my night sky.
Getting hype when I aim up, elevating that game up, stepping up to the competition. Only first place, and that's how I'm living. I'm with it till they digging up my grave, eating all the things up on my plate. Game face when I step up into place. I was born and when I watched me elevate. When I watch me elevate. I was born and when I watch me elevate. I was born and when I watch me elevate. Watch me elevate. Yeah. All in when I show up. Whole place about to blow up. Superior to that competition. I'm in first place, and that's how I'm living. With it till they digging up my grave, eating all the things up on my plate. Game face when I step up into place. I was born and when I watched me elevate. I was born and when I watched me elevate.
going to go back live.
Okay.
Welcome back then, ladies and gentlemen, to Simplay Motorsport for race 2 and round 10 of the season. I've got the top 3 in for a quick interview, but just briefly, Fury, Nicky, BT Target, NJ, DJ Phil Green, Don Productions and Xmart all cannot qualify for the second race. We've got Aidan Bennett in for the session, so the top 7 cannot qualify, and they'll have to start at the reverse grid at the back of the pack. Nicky looks like he's got the best benefit of that, sort of starting a bit higher up than the others. But we'll start with Nicky in the interviews. P3 tonight, mate. You've not been on the podium since Daytona. It's been a while, but you've seemed to get away quite cleanly tonight and get the job done.
Yeah, firstly, I'd like to say a big thank you to Ben Parkey for the setup, the help with the setup. That helped me out a lot because I've been struggling with this Porsche to get a setup. Me and BT had practice session the other night, and I jumped in the Ferrari because I said I'm more comfortable in the Ferrari, and I went 2 seconds quicker a lap in the Ferrari than this Porsche. But obviously you've got to stick with the Porsche as it's the team car. So yeah, just like to say thanks to Ben for the help with the setup. But yeah, I've got a good start on this one. The only thing them Mercedes, wow, down the straight they just pulled away.
Yeah,
I was caught up with them through the corners, but the straights, yeah, it was in a different league.
How was the tyres tonight? Because from what the guys I've seen and myself in the week, the tyres seem to have been the biggest issue. With tyres all right?
I had no problems with the tyres, no issues. They got a little bit hot on the left sometimes when you push it through some of the corners, but I had a lot of grip. I mean, some of the corners, I was saying to Kelly that I was taking corners flat out, and everyone was braking or letting off of that corner. So yeah. I think that's what helped me keep up with the Mercedes at the front. But yeah, through the mid section, I'm on par with BT and Fury, but down the straights, yeah, can't keep up.
The Mercedes is just something else. You're going to start what looks to be around P8. What can you do from there in the second race?
Hopefully, if I get another good start, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to literally go full beans on this one, I think. And if I get a clean through corners without getting taps with anyone. But hopefully everyone stays safe and clean, and it should be okay.
Well, best of luck, mate.
Cheers, man.
Cheers, buddy. We got BT in the chat as well. He second place tonight, mate, after your double podium last week. The mate looks strong, and you and Fury having a cracking battle out there.
Oh, it was brilliant. I so enjoyed that. I was absolutely sweating. I know Fury told me he was sweating as well, and yeah, it was that Mercedes is quick for me on a one-off lap, but after 5 or 6 laps, it starts to get a bit like ice skating, especially on the throttle, on the corner. So yeah, to keep that close all the way, it was brilliant battling, and a great congratulations to Fury for the win, and great for Nicky, and also my teammate Xmart in 4th. That was great.
How was your tyres in the Mercedes-Benz? Obviously, Nicky saying the Porsche got a bit hot, but fine. Was yours any different in the Mercedes, or?
They go up to about 27, near 28 on a couple of occasions, but yeah, they seemed alright. Obviously, it's hard because the softs would just melt.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have a great first couple of laps, like saying qualifying, real good, feels hooked up, but then it soon fades away. I'm not sure if it might be when it's on heavy fuel. It seems a bit slidey, but right. I enjoyed it, and good battle with Fury, and I thought I left him enough room, but obviously not just enough on that exit. But it's all good close racing. That's what I'm here for. So.
Three podiums in a row, mate. You can't knock your performances so far in these first 3 races.
No, really, really pleased. To get it going and get straight off the mark battling with Fury. Oh, really pleased with that, and long may it continue, I hope.
Well, we wish you the best luck, mate, for race 2. And
thanks very much.
Yeah, best luck, buddy.
Thanks, matey.
We've got Fury as well in with us. 6 wins this season. Fury out of 9 available so far. It's championships looking nice at the moment for yourself, isn't it?
Yeah, it's looking alright. I mean, Dom Productions isn't the Audi's doing a lot better than I've ever seen it, to be honest.
What was your take on race 1? Obviously, you got ahead of BT early doors. You managed to keep him behind you for the rest of the race. He jumped you in the pit stop, but you managed to sneak that nose up the inside. Come turn 2, did what you needed to do.
I mean, personally, I didn't get any wiggle or anything, but I just seen him dart off to the right and off into the gravel, and I was like, was that me or was that him losing the car? I didn't know.
Right, yeah. Great battle though between the pair of you.
Oh yeah.
What can you do from race 2 then, mate? From the middle of the pack again, similar place to Nicky, P9 at the moment you are. What can you do from there?
Hopefully get a good start, keep the consistent laps coming, not overheat the tyres too much, like race 1, and just keep them okay.
Well, we wish you the best luck, buddy. We'll let you get back to it.
Cheers.
Cheers, mate. Liam, then 3 guys very happy with their first race performance, and we've got at the moment a guy who was unhappy with his first race performance, Argent, currently occupying the pole seat so far, followed by Alfie, and then Daniel Francis P3. Kelly's in 4th at the minute with Smithy 5th. Aiden's in 6th. Stelzloff and Dean yet to set a time, and there's 3:40 left on the clock, so they've not got long to get themselves at that time in.
Nah. Well, like I said in the first qualifying, you want to be on track, your times and whatnot, and staying in the pits, or going in and out the pits, isn't the way of going.
Stelzloff's just managed to get a lap time in, gone P6. Dean's coming towards the end of his lap. He needs to get a lap on the board. DJ Phil, go Dean for P1. Redemption for race 1, says BT Target in the chat. Kelly's gone up to 2nd, Dan's gone up to 3rd, so Alfie's dropped to P4 now. Qualifying 2 average, a lot of these guys have qualified in race 2. Dean averages P8. Right, well, that will help because he'll be higher than 8th, provided he can, he will be 8th, provided he can get the slowest lap time on there. But let's see what Dean can do. Again, not using all that run off at the final corner. Smithy's just in front. Does Smithy improve? He does. And Dean goes P8, so he's bang on his average at the minute. Smithy in qualifying 2. Argent, qualifying 2. He qualifies P10. Stelzloff gets an average of 8th. Aiden gets an average of 7th. Kelly gets an average of 9th. Smithy at the minute, he averages P6. So, I mean, he's bang on his average. He's in the pits at the minute. Can he come back out for this one? Where's Alfie? What does Alfie average? He averages a P8 as well. Dean, then, will want to get better than a P... I mean, a 2:05 from Dean, it's not good enough, is it? He's got pace, but he's again struggling to put the lap together to show what he's got as the sun is setting here in Catalunya. The evening really rolling in now, the sun getting a bit lower. The track temperatures may have come down, Liam, which could really help these drivers out.
Yeah, it should hopefully help their tyres situation when it comes to heat and whatnot. It's just a fact of if they're going to maintain the tyres as well as the track.
Yeah. Here's Aiden then, up on his lap so far. Let me give you a quick rundown of the championship after round 9. Fury now leads the way, 32 points clear of Dom Productions and 42 ahead of KLF. Obviously, recalculations of the drop score will be taken every night, so you can have your worst score that night and that become your drop score. NJ stays in 4th with Alfie staying in 5th. Nicky though moving up to 6th. Only a point behind Alfie, so a good round for Nicky, and this one could see him move up a bit more. DJ Phil Green has passed Dean Wasocki by a point due to his good finish of a 7th place. BT Targa is up there just a point behind him. Obviously BT is going to have to take his drop score as Alfie very wide onto the grass after cutting a big chunk of the chicane. Let's hope he doesn't improve, because that will be not what he wants to. Kelly as well, don't forget, he's going to lose 5 points to that reset button. Does Alfie improve? He does, he goes P3, so that one is that one's going to have to be investigated. As that was a huge cut of the corner from Alfie there to put him into P3. I don't know how much time he would have gained, but still, you don't want to see it. Argent then dropping behind BT Targa. Stelzloff has gained a few on Argent there. X-Mart as well gaining a few more points. Daniel Francis, not the race he'd have wanted. Aiden not scoring and Smithy not scoring hasn't helped them to out either. And in terms of constructors, Team Prolapse are now 27 behind Forever Forward. Not being able to gain, they've actually lost 7 points, even though Nicky and KLF beat Argent. They've not managed to outscore Fury at this moment in time, as Kelly is coming in the pits. He's quite content with P2. Aiden Bennett there really stringing it out. Where's Dean Wasocki? He's the first one to finish. So we'll stay with Dean, and then we'll jump to Aiden. And then it will be Argent. I don't know if Argent's on a lap, but we'll stay with Dean. Dean half a second up. He's gone P4 then. Half a second would actually put him P2. Can he find even more time yet in this one then, as they're coming through the final couple of corners now?
Seemed very slow through there, Dean did.
He did. He didn't look like he was confident enough to take all the pace through that corner, did he?
No. Looked like he was a bit, like you say, a bit inconfident, is it?
Yeah.
Inconfident going around that turn.
Well, he's going to come across the line now, and what does this do for Dean Wysocki? He improves, but he goes 2/10 off the back of Kelly, so it does improve. Where's Aiden Bennett then? Aiden was the next man who was going to cross the line here. Looks like Argent's going to take the pole unless Aiden can find 3.9 seconds, which, no disrespect to Aiden, I can't see the Porsche managing to find that amount of time here then. Aiden's coming down the start straight now. Where is he going to feed in? He goes P6, so jumps ahead of his teammate into P6 in that one, so good job from Aiden Bennett. As we are just awaiting Argent now then to come across the line. Argent P1, so has got the pole position in qualifying in what is his 51st race. I'm sure he'd have loved it to have been his 50th, but it wasn't to be. So Dean was Kieran Argent then P1 with KLF 900 in P2. Dean Wysocki P3, Alfie P4, but a huge cut to improve his time. That will be under investigation. Daniel Francis 5th with Aiden Bennett 6th. Stovsloff in 7th. And then we've got Smithy in P8. Then the first non-qualifiers, Nicky in 9th, BT Targa 10th, Fury 11th, Hexmark 12th, NJ 13th, Don Productions 14th, for DJ Phil Green in 15th place. And Liam, who's your tip for race 2?
It's hard to say. If Kieran carries on being like how he was in race 1, I couldn't say him. Out of everyone, I would have to probably go with either Fiore, BT Targa, or maybe Don, depending if they can get through the pack.
Well, the evening time is really rolled in. Look, you can see how dark it is, Liam. Do you think that's going to play an effect with any of these drivers on the grid out there at the moment?
I think tyre-wise it might play an effect, but I think other than that, I don't think so, no.
We'll have to see what happened. Peaceful's stepdad in the chat. I'm sure it's Ian Thompson. Come on, Kelly, he says. Tony, come on, Fury, keep it going in race 2. That's naughty, Alfie. Does that need reports? Says Daniel Francis. Alfie was an accident. Asking Matt what the plan is now. It will be looked at after the race, so don't you worry about how, and it will be looked at after the race tonight. Little each. Evening, everyone. Evening, Craig. Hope you're looking forward to this. Hope yours is on the big telly, Craig. Gary's got his on the big telly. Let's get yours on the big telly. Let's take it to the cinema. What a job these guys have done tonight. Great racing we've seen. Who do you think in the chat is going to win this one? 20 people watching. Let's get your comments in of who you think is going to take the race win in this race. We'll get your driver of the day a little later on when we see the developments of this race. We're hoping for a race like race 1 though, Liam, aren't we? We're hoping for a good, clean fight.
Yeah, a lot of back and forth as well. That's what we'd like to see, because it gives it a bit more of a, you don't know what's about to happen.
Indeed. Just to say, the best average qualifying is a P4 for Alfie in Q2. So Alfie has the best average qualifying in Q2 at this moment, with a 2nd, a 4th, an 8th and a 15th for him. The lights are on though. We're about to go green at the moment. It's away we go here for the 2nd time and the 10th time this season. Great start from everybody. Dean looked like he got away really well, but been boxed in by Kelly and by Argent there then. Kelly's going to try and look to go the long way around. Alfie and Dean then still in the background. They're going to make it too wide. Dean's lost out to Alfie down the straight, and Kelly takes the lead in superb fashion around the outside of Argent. These two had a great battle at Daytona. We're about to see the same again here, but Kelly off the line well so far. Argent 2nd, Alfie 3rd. Dean now down to 4th place with Daniel Francis P5. Then it becomes Stovsloff and Aiden with Fury up into 8th already, and that is BT Targa, who has dropped to the back of the pack. X-Mart as well. What has happened there, not sure. Doesn't look to be too much damage, but not sure what is happening here. Disco still back in B2. He says always on the big TV, says Craig. Come on, Fury, says Fury's mum. Good luck, lads, says Disco with Disco face. And yeah, what a job so far. Kelly, though, has got the start. Argent is under pressure from Alfie already in this early stage of the race. Dean needs to keep with these two as Alfie's having a look up the inside of Argent. Tucks back in, can't get that one done this time around. Sloth must have had enough because he's down into 15th place already here. This is then DJ Phil's 50th race. What can he do? He's already up to P10 from the back of the grid. Alfie having a look into the hairpin, and he's going to try and break later than Argent, and does so, and sneaks his way up the inside, and Argent can do nothing about it other than take a wider line and let him go. And in fact, Alfie's looking for the race lead. He's going for Kelly 2 corners later. Alfie up the inside. Great respect from them two. Great driving. And Alfie then leads his second race. Huge hit on the sausage curb. But Alfie driving really well at the minute. Kelly just a bit of a nudge in the rear. Alfie has to take a void. Yeah, let that one off. A bit of a nudge from Kelly. Had to take a void. And actually, Kieran and Kelly then rubbing on each other a little bit. Dean's also getting involved. Look at this. Dean's trying to go left, right. Oh, and he's turned straight into Kelly. And Dean Wasocki has absolutely wiped Kelly out of this one. Don's already in the pits. He's got to pit again. Kelly's got huge damage. He's going to have to pit again.
He's got no
he's going to be struggling. Dean there was looking left and right, and all of a sudden just went into the side of KLF. Daniel Francis has Alfie's lost out to Argent. Daniel Francis now having a look as well. But I tell you what, that Ferrari looks good in the infield. Oh, Daniel Francis off at 2-3. He's had a spin now. Argent against Alfie. This is where the Ferrari may be strong. NJ's now got himself up to 3rd. Aiden is now up to 3rd. He's just passed NJ on the timing screen. Alfie just taking a strange line. Where is Aiden? As he's in fact, Nicky's got ahead of both of them. Aiden's dropped down the pack a little bit, and Dean's now back in this little battle. Oh dear, it's all kicked off, Liam.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Dean may have a little bit of damage, to be fair, after that little bit of a bump. I see part of one of his left or right side of the car just go a little bit airborne.
Oh, he's off. Oh, he's off.
Dropped it.
Yeah, drops it. Too much curb and he's off. And now everybody's going to come steaming past him. He needs to make sure he keeps that one out of the way. And I believe he has. Argent then out front. 1.5 seconds clear of Alfie. This is where Alfie got Argent earlier on. Can't do now as he's way too far back. Nicky then is already up to 3rd. Disco shocking from Dean, he says in the chat. It was a bit naughty, that. Into the side of KLF. Nicky then back up onto the podium. He is really having a good day. Bad luck, Kelly, says Ian. And Fury, the championship leader, P5, with his closest title rivals, Don and KLF, 13th and 15th. And Don's already pitted, so he's got to pit again, don't forget.
Fury has made his way up the pack quite a lot, to be fair. Starting near the back of the pack, running P5 right now. That's... Oh, NJ's just dropped it.
Oh, he has. He's dropped it coming out the final corner. A huge shunt into the wall. And that is incredibly bad for him. What bad luck he has got there.
Yeah, saw quite a lot of that so far. A lot of people dropping it.
Daniel Francis into the pits. We presume KLF will come into the pits as well. Oh, look how slow Kelly. Yeah, look how slow he's got to go here just to make sure he can get the car around. What a shame for Kelly tonight. Had a great start in this race then. Exmar on the back of Fury with his teammate right behind him. Smithy then could get himself past Daniel Francis here. It wasn't to spin. All I'm saying at this point, need to review my footage. Oh. Okay then.
Who's that?
Daniel Francis in the chat.
Oh.
So, yeah. Strange one there then. But not the race 2 to have here. The light's sort of fading away and the artificial light of the cars are taking over. But not the race that these guys would have wanted. Argent will be happy though. He's out front. Alfie then P2. From Nicky. Smithy's got himself into the pits, so maybe some damage for that car. Kelly should be coming up to the pits anytime soon as well. Dean's now down in 10th. Poor Kelly, says Iron Brew Racing. Yeah, poor Kelly. Daniel Francis as well. Wrong place, wrong time. Oh, we've had a retirement. Who is that that's just retired? Dean retired. Dean's retired from the race then. So Dean Wasocki has retired from the race.
Not the thing you want to be doing.
No, you don't want to be doing.
You don't want to be retiring.
When you've got the 2 retirements to your name, he's retired from a 3rd. This is what happened to him last year, and it cost him too many points. Don't forget, you've got to finish 80% of the season, otherwise you'll get a 25-point deduction in the season. New rule brought in to try and make these people, get to the end of the race. But Dean then, third retirement. He only got one more retirement, and that you could pretty much have 4 retirements in the season if you have them 4. The 5th one, job done. Dean has retired from the race from P10, and what a shame that is for him, because he lost about 40 points last year due to not finishing the races. Well, that's if he'd have scored where he got tonight, it's another 6 points he's lost, plus the 4 races he's already missed. 1 race ban and 2 he's retired from. He's put in the chat, sorry Kelly. It's alright being sorry, but you've got to finish the races and take the punishment that you get with him on so many penalty points after Spa as well. Now he's not finished the race. That penalty's going to be even worse, isn't it? That penalty could be another race ban.
That is a very big possibility. And that's something Dean would not want to be getting.
No, I will take the penalty. He's just put on the chat, Liam, that I will take the penalty. Well, the fact you've retired means that the penalty, like you say, could be a race ban. And if you already had the one, or I'm looking at the records here, and if Dean was to get another...
Oh, Alfie's dropped it. No,
he has.
Kept hold of it.
He's got it. If Dean was to get another 3 points, that would be a whole week's ban, so he would miss the whole of Zhuhai.
Oh. That would punish where he'd be in the standings quite heavily.
That is really going to take the wind out of Dean's sail then. So drivers in the pits, they've got to pit again. Unfortunate for them, that is pretty much Kelly and Smithy's race over. I am just flicking to the rules and regulations, Liam, just to doubly confirm that one. But I am sure that if you... The penalty points got changed for this season, for this reason, to be a bit more harsh on the drivers for this reckless driving. And yeah, 6 points Q1 ban, 12 points Q1 and race 1 ban, which Dean's already had, 18 points, which Dean's on 15, would give him a whole week's ban. So Dean here could get the full week banned, which means he would miss Zhuhai. So I'll take a race ban. I mean, it's not down to you what you'll take, it's down to the admins what you'll take. 2 minute in the pitch, G, says Smithy. Kelly is still in there, and he's got to pit again. Let's not forget, here goes Don for P10 on DJ Phil. So he's making his way back through the field. Excuse me. As Argent then leads this race from Alfie, Nicky, Fury, BT, Targa, Xmart. So, Alfie! On the curb, he's lost it on the curb. There goes Nicky, Fury and Xmart, BT, Targa will be coming. He's reversing. Let's hope he keeps it out the way. And I think he has, and the Mercedes boys have managed to get through, but down to 6 goes Alfie. So a few question marks tonight in this second race with a few driving standards. And well, this is going to be something quite extraordinary.
Yes, indeed it will be. Not the race 2 we was hoping for, Matt.
No, we was hoping for a bit of a better race 2, like it's similar to what we had in race 1, but we have not got that here. We are really not seeing the best of this, and whether that's because the light has played the factor in, with it being a bit later at night, that has played a factor in this, I'm not quite sure, but we've lost Dean from the race, so he'll score no points, and he'll face a harsher penalty, we imagine. We've also had Alfie, who's been involved in a few incidents, but what we have got is Argent on his 51st race, which he'd have loved to have been doing this on his 50th race. Well out in front of Nicky at the moment. And it's Xmart, BT Targa trying to get on the back of Fury then. And what can they do from here, Liam? The Mercedes have looked a lot better than I thought tonight.
Yeah, to be fair, to me, this is just what you'll get. The Mercedes is quite power car, like you've said in the past. Quite a powerful car. Gets its time through the straights, and well, it's a bit harder for like your Porsches, your Ferrari, and whatnot to get past when there's such power in a car.
Yeah. You're quite right there. Can these guys catch up to Nicky? Fury is doing. He is making them inroads on Nicky, while his teammate Argent, who has 2 wins to his name, I'm sure he'd love to take a 3rd race win. He'd love to do it without that assistance of his teammate, which, you know, he had last season, but hey, let's not take anything away from him. He still has to get the job done. He's sure he'd love to do it and be able to say, I finally got there without the assistance of anybody. So we've lost Dean from the race. He's retired. We are down to the 14 runners. Obviously, Aiden's in for this one. We're down to the 14 runners in this race. What can them guys do from here on in? It's Argent from Nicky, from Fury, from BT Targa, from Xmart, Alfie, Stealth Sloth, NJ Aiden, Don, DJ Phil, Daniel Francis, Smithy and KLF. Don, Smithy and KLF and Daniel have all been in the pits. I don't think DJ Phil has. The other guys have all pitted, so we'll have to pit again as the pit window is open now, or is open at the end of this lap. No, Argent's just started lap 7, so the pit window is actually open for everybody now. Fury then being caught, he's catching, Nicky here, and he's going to do well to get past him. Alfie then, first one, Liam, into the pits at the end of lap 6.
Yeah, if I'm right, he was the first one to pit after the pit window for race 1 as well.
Yeah, he was. You're quite right there. So then Alfie in the pits, he's losing out a few places here. What can Alfie do now? That is the big question. What can Alfie do now for the rest of this race? What I will say is Dean will then get his 50th appearance on Monday night in the GT5s. Luckily enough, he won't have to wait for 2 weeks to get that one done. He will be able to take his 50th race start at, because obviously it's based off the starts, so he will be able to take that at Donington Park on Monday night for the GT5s. Daniel Francis is in the pits as well, so he's taken his mandatory stop. That's his second stop of the race. And Nicky here, he's got Fury crawling all over the back of him for P2. They're 4 seconds behind Argent at the minute, and the racing just seems to now have calmed down a little bit. Disco cuts the hell out of a lot out of that final chicane. No, questionable. It is questionable. It will be looked at. Dan Francis still in the pit, so a long stop for him. Now then, Kelly can get ahead of Smithy and gain some extra points. He said off air he needs a better race tonight to redo the work that was, the damage that was done last week. Well, for him to do that, he needs to score 10 points here, otherwise this will be his drop score and he'll gain the 17 back from Donington Park. We'll have to wait and see. Oh goody, a new mechanical failure. These idiot pit crew, well, the piston broke crew have not had the best nights. Daniel Francis is now away in the pits, and Fury is going up the inside of Nicky, and that's a lovely manoeuvre into turn 1. Great job. I think it's fine. He keeps his wheels on the curb. The final chicane's a very hard chicane around here, so yeah, it is a tough one to get right. But Nicky, can he get back? He said in the interview, Liam, didn't he, that the Porsche's got the pace on the infield. It's not got the pace on that back straight compared to the Mercedes. So can Nicky come back at Fury? Daniel Francis is letting these guys through, and I think Smithy's just managed to... Has Smithy snuck through for a position? I don't think he has he? No, he hasn't. Smithy's 1 minute 30 behind Daniel, so Daniel's a lap ahead. DJ Phil then comes into the pits at the end of lap 7. Sorry, at the end of lap 8. So DJ Phil in, the only ready set go driver to be on the field now, so that third place they had in the constructors may not be theirs at the end of this one. I mean, they're still quite way ahead of Pro Lassie and Lone Wolf Motorsport, but DJ Phil's got a lot of work to do on his own now. What can he do from here? This is the biggest question at the moment. Walshy, 2 wheels need to be on the track. Yeah, there is. Who is that? That's Stealth Sloth ahead of MJ. Good little Porsche battle here. Team Cool Runnings versus MC Motorsport. And Stealth Sloth, oh, just a bit all over the place. That Porsche looks very twitchy, if you ask me, of Stealth Sloth. Doesn't look like he's having the best of time with it.
Maybe he's got a bit of damage. Front looks of it, his front bumper's a bit hanging off as it is.
Yeah, so maybe then a bit of damage there for him. And maybe that is the problem here then. Nicky has got back ahead of Fury on the infield. He's now coming down the start straight. Philly's out the pits. These two are now falling to 6 seconds behind Kieran, and Fury's not been able to get back past Nicky here. Oh, he has now. Nicky's gone very deep into turn 1, and that's allowed Fury through. Fury then, Nicky then, will be on the back of him. Made that error into turn 1. Now he's on the back of him. He's having a look into turn 4. Can't get that job done. The Porsche, like he said, seems better on the infield. Fury looks a bit wide, and Nicky then, the night time really starting to roll in, the evening time really starting to roll in. It's 8 PM here, Liam, so 2 hours before the first qualifying of our night races. So it is really starting to roll in.
Yeah, you can tell it's starting to get a lot darker as well, with the lights on the track just showing a lot more than what it was at the start of the race.
A bit more artificial light now, isn't it, than natural light? Yeah. And Nicky here then, although he says the Porsche is better on the infield, he's not able to get that move done. There's BT Targa waiting in the wings, And that was Stolzloff and NJ having a cracking little battle a bit further back. I wonder if we can get back to that one. Yeah, there we are. That's Daniel Francis a lap down. He's not going to want to get involved with this. And NJ's looking up the inside. Earlier on the brakes, can't get the job done. Stolzloff. Oh, NJ. All over the... Oh, and Stolzloff. Huge.
Oh, Stolzloff.
Huge wiggle there. And that's lost him the place to NJ then. So that has put Stolzloff down into P7. And NJ up into P6. NJ's having a solid, quiet championship here, isn't he? He's fourth in the standings. He's going about his business nicely. I mean, he's taken 2 podiums, but he's up there in the championship standings. That says a lot. Oh, that's a bit of a melee in the background. Don and Aiden, and I think Smithy. I think the lap car trying to get out of the way of the 2 leaders. But either way, Don and Aiden are through. Don's up to 8th. Aiden's down to 9th now. He's going to have Alfie next on him. And Alfie has pitted. But Alfie is also 12 seconds behind Aidan Bennett. Then Aidan's Porsche looking nice and clean, and oh, that's a bit of track limits, but again, he's probably lost more there with going deep in the first part of the chicane than anything. Join us next week for Zhuhai, 8 PM BST for the Pro-Am. So Chinese track where we'll be live 8 PM BST. Join us tomorrow night for the Pro at Catalunya again, 8 PM BST for that one, and join us Monday night 8 PM BST for the GT5s. Donington Park. Second race of the season. BT Targa now then, wanting to keep up with Fury, is gaining on the back of Nicky here. And Fury has cut that gap to Argent. I reckon Argent's made a mistake somewhere, because that gap has been cut by Fury to Argent down to, what was 6 seconds, down to 3.6. So he's really started to cut the gap here then.
Yeah. Maybe it's to do with setups. They should be running the same setup, but maybe Fury might have made a couple more tweaks to his to make him maybe a bit quicker.
Kelly then has come into the pits in what has been a disastrous night at the end of lap 10. Kelly has come into the pits for his mandatory stop. He's about to get lapped again. Poor old Kelly. Smithy still has to pit, so it's not all done for Kelly. And is that BT Targa then, who is pulling the undercut at the end of lap 10 here, pulling the undercut over Fury and Nicky, maybe over the race lead. We'll have to wait and see, but yeah, it's interesting to see what these guys can do. Argent's lead is really being cut short here. 49.9 last lap compared to Fury's 47.1. Argent just making a few mistakes that last lap then, not having the cleanest of laps maybe, and that's why Fury's been able to catch him. Lap 11 of 18, these two both still got to pit yet, don't forget. There's NJ and Stolzloff as well, both come into the pits. So them guys are in. Aiden can't pit, Smithy can't pit, Don hasn't pitted. And the night time really started, the evening time really started to roll in. Red sky at night. What a beautiful scene here at Catalunya in this race then. BT Targa, NJ Stolzloff in the pits, and Argent's dropped it. And here comes his teammate round the outside. He goes, and Argent then has just maybe lost this race win due to dropping it at the S's after the hairpin corner. What a shame for in fact Fury has allowed his teammate back through. So I'm not sure what's happened there, but Fury has allowed his teammate back ahead. Interesting one for me that. But okay, Fury allowing his teammate through. Stolzloff has jumped NJ in the pits. And Argent's just getting a bit twitchy in that Mercedes-Benz here. He's just starting to have a few mistakes creeping, and Nicky's 2 seconds off the back. He's going to be wanting to pounce shortly, surely. DJ Phil then after his pit stops, P11. Liam, what do we make of this race now it's started to pan out?
Now it's got more panned out. It's
Fury's
starting
in.
to be... Fury's
Sorry,
in.
carry on with what you were saying.
Yeah. I think now it's a bit later into the race. It's not as bunched up together, so it's less liable for your mistakes and whatnot. I think it came back into more of a nicer race like race 1.
Yeah, it
not
has
as
indeed.
close up front with Fury and Kieran, but it's coming out to be quite a nice race.
Indeed it is. As we're seeing Nicky then, Kieran has made a few mistakes. Oh, is that BT Targa? Oh, now BT Targa's slow. He looks like he could have some damage on that car. There's a few scrapes on it. What has happened to BT Targa there then? Has he made a mistake since coming out of the pit? Stolzloff has now got past BT. Aidan Bennett staying out on track, as is Smithy. Smithy still to pit. Fury's out the pits down in P5. That's Stolzloff, who is very, very wide and will come right back on track in front of BT Target. And he's wide now. BT's going to look up the inside and looks like he's going to have that job done. Indeed he does. Now, has BT had an off somewhere? Has he got damage on that car? Is that going to ruin his chances of a podium in this second race? Let's see if he comes back in the pits, because his teammate hasn't pitted. No, so he's carrying on for now. No. So he's fine at the moment.
Look a bit battered up.
Does look a bit. There's a few scrapes on the side, isn't there?
Yeah. I wonder if he may have touched the curb a little bit too much. Maybe had a spun bump front at car.
Possibly.
Maybe. Yeah.
Possibly. We'll have to keep an eye on BT Targa's pace. His last lap was a 2:10, so yeah, not the pace for BT Targa. I can't remember if that was an outlap. His teammate X-Mark's gaining on the back of Nicky. Well, Argent's now just started to get that gap back out front again here. Just started to up it to 5 seconds, so Argent starting to get back on that pace. As
both these two are in pits.
Yeah, X-Mark and Nicky coming in at the end of lap 12. So they are both in. We are waiting for Don, Smithy, Aiden and Argent to pit then. When will this man, the race leader, pit for tyres? Can Fury jump in with the undercut? Can Nicky and X-Mark jump in with an undercut? Kieran, compared to his race 1, has put nothing wrong here in race 2. And we'll have to see what's going to happen. I mean, he's had that... I say he's not put a foot wrong. He's put a foot wrong in terms of he had a spin. But apart from that, he got away well. Got back ahead of Kelly and Alfie. He's going good guns here. Down to 14 drivers. Sorry, go on, Liam.
Having a nice little fluent race, would you say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dean in the chat, you're right, Disco, maybe I should call it a day. I don't remember ever seeing Disco telling you to quit, Dean. So I don't know what you're on about there. He said shocking from Dean. He didn't say quit, Dean, so I don't know what you're on about there. Smithy then is now into the pits, so he's done his mandatory stop. Argent leads. Fury got ahead of Nicky and X-Mark.
So Kieran's looking very... Kieran.
Just as you're saying that, Liam. Ooh. Commentators curse.
Maybe he's overdriven those tyres.
Yeah,
maybe he's the
temps are down a little bit, aren't they? So
yeah,
it's interesting to see. The temperatures are down, but at the minute, Argent doing what he needs to do. Bit slidey through there. He's boxing now. So Argent's coming in at the end of lap 13, which will mean that everybody other than Don and Aiden have now pitted. The Don is currently P2. Now, there's Nicky. Where's Fury? Because Fury will be the man to jump Kieran in the pits. Let's stay on board Fury a second. If the Don jumps him, that's fine, because Don's still got to pit himself. But this the man to watch in relation to his teammate. Fury, 6 race wins, is nearly tied up with the likes of Sutty, Mazda and Monkey Boy. Fury, 6 race wins all on his own out there ahead of Holty and the Only G on 4 wins apiece. If Kieran wins this race, he'll go from 2 to 3. He'll put himself in the bracket with Welshie on 3 and Unorthodox with 3 race wins here at Simplay. And there is Kieran. There's Fury. So is Kieran coming out? He's got to make sure he doesn't cross that white line. Fury's done him here. So Fury ahead. The undercut has worked for Fury over his teammate. Nicky and Mexmar hasn't worked. Although Nicky has got himself ahead of Aidan Bennett. Now then. What Kieran won't want is for his teammate to let him pass to win the race, because that'll be 3 times. He'll want to win this outright. Bit wide at turn 1. Kieran's got to now get back on it. He's not going to want his teammate to pull over and let him take that race win. Great for the constructors, though, this is. Fury's granddad, you only improve by learning from your mistakes, Dean. Keep plugging away, mate, says Tony. Can't agree more, Tony. Can't agree more. And the way you improve with overtaking people is by racing hard against other people, not on your own. The more people you can race against, the better you improve. London buses, says Iron Brew Racing. That means if he wins this one, he'll win race 1 next week at Zoo High, surely. But Argent... Oh, who's adding the wall? That's Don Productions! Don Productions has had a spin and has dropped down to P. He's not pitted yet. So that is not what he'd have wanted. BT's only 8th after his pit stop. Nicky and X-Mart have pitted, so Don isn't really in a fight with them. Aiden as well hasn't pitted, so his race is against Aiden. Now, will Don then be tempted to maybe bang it in the pit lane this lap? Kieran, though, trying to keep up with the back of his teammate. Let's keep an eye on their lap times and see what happens as we go by.
Kieran looks like he's gaining a little bit.
He does, yeah. Now, he still looks a bit loose on the rear of that Mercedes. All over the curb. Nicely done from Fury and Argent there. And down the straight, there you go. Twice now getting like Cam. I mean, Cam never took anybody out, but did... Oh, Kieran. Oh, what a shame. Oh, Don, says Iron Brew Racing. As Kieran then, has he just lost his race win? Is he going to let Fury go? Don still ahead of Nicky in the background. Kieran needs to cut out these mistakes because the rest of the pack are coming. I know Don's still got to pit. He's deep at turn 1 as well.
Kieran looking like he's actually a lot quicker than what Fury is. He's gained.
Yeah, now is Fury just letting his teammate creep up on him? Or is Kieran looking quite quick? I mean, Kieran was deep at turn 1, so unless Fury's cooling his tyres, I'm not sure here. But either way, the teammates have switched. Fury didn't fight that there, so I wonder if the team orders are to let Kieran take the race win in his first win of the season. I wonder. I'm sure he'll want to do it one day. I'm sure Kieran will one day. He's quick enough to get that race win outright without teammates' help. Because at the minute, that's 3 races where teammates have helped him get through. And I'm not saying Fury has there and Kieran's not done it on pace. We don't know that. But he's never took the lead against anybody other than his teammates. So I'm sure he's really going to want to make sure his teammate is in there. BT and Alfie, they're close together as BT Targa has got past Alfie then. Here's Xmart trying to get past Aidan Bennett. This is for P5 on track. Smart then, as Aiden's still got to pit here, so Aiden won't be fighting it too hard. London buses in capital, said Iron Brew Racing. As X-Mark's losing ground to Nicky here, with Aiden doing a good job at keeping hold of him, and then I think they touched a little bit there, but X-Mark finds his way through. And Aiden looks now, like yeah, BT has got past Alfie. Alfie's got no lights on, and he's dive bombed BT Targa there and manages to not make contact. So Alfie, good job on getting the car stopped. He's got no lights on the front of that car. And he looks like he's carrying a bit of damage.
In this kind of condition where it's starting to go dark, it's actually mandatory to have your lights on, if I'm not correct.
It is mandatory to have your lights on, and he's locked up at the final couple of corners. He's struggling. He's got some damage on that car. Alfie could probably do with coming into pit for that, because Stoff Sloth is only 6 seconds behind. And Alfie's going to lose more time. Yeah, he's going to keep it out. So he's going to lose more time keeping it out than what he is bringing it in, maybe, and pitting for the lights. Now then, Nicky ahead of Aiden. Xmart was dropped back behind Aiden Bennett here. So, in fact, he hasn't now, as Aiden Bennett. Xmart drives right around the outside. So maybe a mistake from Aiden Bennett. And just Aiden and Don left to come into the pit lane. Lap 16 of 18.
Maybe they're going till the end. Maybe a last lap smash.
Yeah, possibly.
They may be going for.
Possibly they do. He needs to pit though, says Iron Brew Racing. He does need to pit. Alfie is meant to pit to get his lights on. You are meant to keep your lights on in these conditions. So he does need to pit. Does Alfie? Oh, more than likely receive a warning for that one. But at the minute, it's Argent from Fury Don, who's not yet pitted in front of Nicky here. Now Don, we saw last week, I think Don had gone longer, didn't fight one of the leaders who was going to pass him. He didn't fight him too hard. He just let him sort of pass and to get on with it because he knew he wasn't in a fight. Will he do the same with Nicky here? Is he going to pit this lap? Is he going to pit the next lap? Let's wait and see. Well, Don's not pitting now, so it's going to be Nicky to stay P4, and he will be out there behind the Don for one more lap. And I tell you what, Nicky is lapping similar pace of Argent here and Fury, so Nicky could here in these last 2 laps maybe get on the back of him. Aiden in the pits at the end of lap 16, so where is he going to feed back out then?
I think...
Oh, Argent! Argent's dropped it at turn 1. Great spot, Liam. Great spot. Argent has dropped it at turn 1. That's allowed Fury back into the lead. Don's now up to second. Nicky's now up to third. Wow. Argent.
I would be gutted.
I'd be fuming, yeah. Just made a few too many mistakes this race. And if he's dropped it on his own, it's himself he's got to blame. So at the minute, it's Fury from the Don, from Nicky in the podium place as Aiden's still in the pits. Is he going to get out ahead of his teammate? He possibly maybe not actually. Stovsloff is up to speed, Aiden isn't, and Stovsloff comes down the start straight and gets the place of Aidan Bennett. Then Kelly is 32 seconds off the back of Smithy with 2 laps to go. Can he get that job done? Where his teammate is net P2, because Don has got to pit at the end of this lap before he gets disqualified. So Nicky here could score some P2 points for the team and do quite well about it. In fact, Kelly is about to be lapped going on to the final lap, so Kelly will only have 1 lap, provided Fury doesn't lap him to get past, but I think Fury will lap him. Good luck everyone, says Dean. Not sure what that's about, but he's probably turned the stream off. Don then is peeled off into the pit, so in comes Don Productions at the end of lap 17 again. Where is he going to come out? Not a bad night from Don, not the best night from him. Lowest to P6. Where's he going to get in this race? Maybe another P6. We'll have to see. There is Argent back then on the podium spot. Exmart is behind him. Argent won't want to lose it anymore because he'll want to stay in that podium spot. Fury leads from Nicky, from Argent, from Exmart. Don's P5. Where's BT Targa?
Oh, that's
Kelly. That's Kelly. No, that's Kelly.
Kelly.
Where's BT Targa?
Down in P6.
Yeah, he's coming down the start straight. So where's Don? Has Don... He's there. So Don's coming out the pits now. So he's dropped to P6.
He won't go to
that's
P7.
what happened to Don then. Don had a drive through lap 1 then for a jump start. So that then is why the Don was pitting early on. That's why he's probably had to make so he's had a great comeback drive early then, up to P2 for a little bit. So great drive from the Don. And Nicky is starting to gain on Fury here. I tell you what, this is going to be a good ending to this. Here's Kelly down in P14. Unfortunately for Kelly in this second race, I'm sure there'll be a few words said at the end. Obviously we won't speak to Kelly, but we'll hear from him. But Fury here needs to keep it together in these last part of this race, because Nicky's coming at him. Nicky's really coming at him here.
Yeah, well, it's all about the points and end of the day in a race, and taking top step of a race is the best points you can get.
Nicky then coming into the final couple of corners, needs a good run out of the chicane, needs to hope that he gets a blinder. Fury, did he clutch a bit much of that? Either way, Fury looks like he's got that job done. It's going to be a P1 for Fury. It's going to be a best finish of the season for Nicky. It's a 1-2, well, I say it's a 1-2, it's a forever forward one, a Pro Laps 2. KLF in the background will come home P14. Argent then is going to get P3, followed by BT Targa, who takes a 4th place, set of 4th places. Driver of the day, get the vote in now. We'll get Liam's in a moment. Exmart takes a 5th place there. Then 6th place for BT Targa for 5th. Exmart 4th, obviously. So solid drive from BT. Don't know what really happened to him in this one, but we think he had an off. Get your vote in for driver of the day. We'll get Liam's in just a moment. Don Productions is going to take a solid P6 there then. So a pair of P6s, it's a good set of points. Takes 20 points with him tonight. Alfie's going to cross the line for 7th place. So a step up from where he was a moment ago. And then it's going to be NJ, who's had a bit of a quiet one today. That's his... No, it's not his lowest result of the season. He's going to come home for an 8th place, with Stovsloff crossing the line in P9. That's a solid result for Michael. He'll be pleased with that. Aidan Bennett looks like he's going to get a top 10, or is he? Because he's got huge damage. No rear wing. Huge damage to Aidan. His car's been fine all night. He's made his pit stop. He's come out. Now he's got the damage. Is DJ Phil on his 50th appearance going to get Aidan Bennett? He is. Aidan Bennett spins the rear. DJ Phil is going to take a P10 for the team and for himself on his 50th outing. Aidan Bennett, and unfortunately at the end, losing out to come home P11. Daniel Francis, not his night. He's had pace, but not his night race-wise in P12. And Smithy then is going to take a P13 as we wait for the fastest lap. Just looking back at the stream. Great win, Fury.
Francis,
well done, Nicky. He is very slow. From last to first to 6th. I'm happy with that. Well done, Fury, making Pro Lassie proud. No votes for driver of the day. Liam, give us your driver of the day.
I'm going to have to say Fury. I thought the race he's done today is amazing. Coming P1 in race 1, and then for race 2 being near the back of the grid, coming all the way up to come P1 yet again. I think it's an amazing drive.
It is an amazing drive. Daniel Francis will take the fastest lap, and he said in race 1 just to say, don't give me the fastest lap. I had to avoid somebody cut chicane and didn't slow down enough, so he gave the fastest lap to BT, who was the fastest guy in race 1. He does take the fastest lap though this time round by 2 tenths quicker than Argent in this race. So you've given it to Fury. Do you know what? I'm going to go outside the box. I'm going to go and give it to Nicky, because I think Nicky, a second and a third, is great. Do you want to get Kieran in here, and we'll have a quick chat with the top 3 if they hopefully join us. Just looking at the chat. Nice one, Fury. Well done to Nicky and Kieran too, says Fury's one. My car was a death trap for me tonight, says Alfie. Driver of the day is me again, says Don Productions. That's two nights in a row there, Don. Monday and Wednesday night. As let's take a quick look then at the drivers' standings after 10 rounds as we hit the halfway mark next week of season 4. Fury it is who is leading the way, and what a job he is doing at the moment. Just going to sort the constructors table out while we do that as well. And as we just go to these little bits here, it is Fury then who leads the way by Don on 47 points behind. Kelly 3 points, third place, 65 behind. Not the night, maybe a few penalties he's got to put in, and maybe obviously this is before the drop scores are recalculated. Nicky's up to 4th, NJ drops to 5th, Alfie's 6th. Argent's got himself up into 7th after a good night. BT Target's 8th, but will take his drop score after tonight. DJ, Phil and Dean 9th and 10th, then with Stealthsloth 11th, X-Mart in 12th place. Daniel Francis is 13th with Aidan 14th, Smithy 15th and Leon Fernie 16th place. And in the Constructors' Championship, Forever Forward 45 points ahead of Team ProLapse. Ready, Set, Go still 3rd, but tied with Team Prolassi, obviously again before the drop scores. Lone Wolf ahead of Team Cool Runnings, who have jumped ahead of AA 3D Printing, and then it's MC Motorsport and Piston Broke bringing up the rear. We've got Argent in for a quick word on Fury. Argent, just quickly, could have had a race win tonight. It could have been that one, and it just didn't go that way.
No, just the last few laps, the car just felt a bit loose on the rear. Obviously, we're trying to play the team game. Me and a few weeks ago, I won 2, but it wasn't today.
Race 1 wasn't your night on your 50th. 51st race, though, a lot better for yourself.
Yeah, I've seen people pretty keen on the Facebook page. I've put the clip in already. I felt he come from a long way back, but we'll see. But as I say, not the way I wanted to have my 50th race, but as I say, it is what it is.
Talk us through what happened with Dean and Kelly then. Obviously, you was in the mix to that with Alfie as well. What actually happened there?
I sort of got. I think Kelly run wide out the chicane. I thought I nipped up. I got a better drag and shoot out the corner. Got up, Kelly's inside, and then next thing I know, I see Dean follow me through, and then next thing I know, they're off. So, well, I don't know what happened. Whether they had door-on-door contact, I couldn't tell you.
Well, unlucky tonight, mate. But congrats on this second race.
Thank you very much.
Fury again. That's 8 out of 10. That's 7 out of 10 now, mate. It's getting a bit easy, isn't it?
No comment. But especially after last time.
Yeah, exactly. 2 wins tonight, mate. It's mega driver of the day as well. So you've got to be happy with that.
Oh yeah, 100%.
What can you do
next? It's just a shame that Argent wasn't second.
Team game, obviously 50 points in front. You're doing everything you need to do in this championship so far.
Let's go.
Yeah. Well, best luck next week.
Consistency.
Yeah,
Cheers,
indeed.
Mate.
Best luck next week, mate. Liam, any final words from yourself?
Yeah. I just want to say brilliant racing tonight, guys, and hopefully we can get some more races just like that.
Indeed. So we'll be back live next week. We'll be back live tomorrow night, actually, for the Pro Series around Catalunya. Can Gary keep up his good form? Can Dan recover what has been undone? Can D Biggs keep up his great consistency? We'll find out. Join us live tomorrow night. We'll be back with the Pro-Am 8 PM next week around Zhuhai International. Join us Monday night as well, where Liam and Jamie will be taking you through the GT5s once again. But from all of us here at Simplay, take care and good night.
Good night.